go. You see?
So there you go. You're quoting Tolkien without realizing it.
There you go. Didn't even know where it came from, but it's a northern saying. Fill in a corner. Fill up a corner.
I mean, it may be that Tolkien just used a phrase that other people had said, or maybe he invented it.
Well, you do realise Tolkien came from Lancashire, don't you? He lived in this part of the world. There's the Tolkien.
I think he lived in the Shire.
The Tolkien Trail is like on my doorstep, so that's probably why. It's,
Have you been to his house?
No.
Oh, why not? If it's so close.
I know.
Literary history, man, deserves to be seen.
Yeah, Tolkien Trail. Following that, there's a circular walk at Hurst Green in the Ribble Valley, which is part of the Tolkien Trail.
Well, all right.
Following his footsteps.
It looks like we are on the internet. Chinny, are we recording on your end?
Tolkien also grew up in Birmingham as well. Ooh, no, I've dropped a load of nuts all over the floor.
He's been around.
Oh,
He's
for
been
fuck's
around.
sake. Chinny's nuts went everywhere.
Oh no.
Chinny, you need to have a better hold on your nuts.
Oh. Yeah, just start the show. It's fine.
No, we're not doing this while you're collecting your nuts. You can go get your nuts, and then we'll start the show later.
This is going to take ages.
What is he doing?
I don't want you distracted. We are starting with something really important.
No, come on.
Okay.
Let's
No, it's all right.
just do it. Just do it. Come on.
Thanks. All right, whatever. I guess we're going to start.
Get it on. Get it on, man.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Here it goes, people. Come on. Yeah, come on.
Welcome, yo, to the veteran gamers. Juju, Ginny, other fellas will tell you about every single game that you play.
Oh no, we got another copyright strike.
Stu's on time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite saviors.
Yeah.
Veteran gamers.
Yeah.
Veteran gamers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Veteran gamers.
Start it up.
Yeah, boy.
What's that weird cat?
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
I do not have a problem. If I want to play Crazy Cupcakes, I will play Crazy Cupcakes.
Hello and welcome to episode 752 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Yeah, 752. What up, people? We are going to start the show up. How you doing? I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
And I'm Chinny.
Yay.
Yeah, that's right, people. We are not military veterans. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle.
Yes. And we stream live every Sunday on YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah, we do. And this week, we got something special ready to go at the start of the show. So here's the thing, people. This is the world premiere of my new track. You ready? Because last week, Chinny talked about how he was playing Manor Lords and he reached a point where basically it was game over and he was ready to start it over again. And in a way, that's a good thing because there's all sorts of things he's going to do differently the second time around. And I started thinking about how well that describes my approach to a lot of games, especially Minecraft, Skyrim, and Rocket League. So I basically spent the last week doing very little else besides working on this track. And now it's done. Stu and Chinny helped me with it. And now y'all get to hear it.
Wow.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, well, yeah, always ready.
Yeah. Here we go.
We will hear for the first time from the Duke himself.
Start it up and let's start over. The beauty of this game's in the eyes of the beholder. The very best part is when you first start to rise, looking at the game through a new set of eyes. Start it up and let's start over. I love the game even more now that I am older. I want a blank canvas so I can just rise, looking at the world through a new set of eyes. Punch that tree, grab that branch, turn logs into planks, and make a workbench. Wooden pickaxe, clear away the dirt. Start whacking at the stone till your hands start to hurt. Make a little furnace, logs into charcoal. Right now, survival is the #1 goal. Kill a cow and a sheep, use wool for a bed. Cook up
cook all the meat so you can keep yourself fed. Make a few tools and build a little home so you have a place to hide when the zombies roam. Skeletons and creepers like freaks come out at night. I drive them away with the power of a torchlight. Kill that spider, make a fishing line. I'll be slamming salmon when I'm down in the mine. Getting dark and it's raining. Don't remind me. What's that sound? Oh my God, it's behind me! No! Start it up and let's start over. The beauty of this game's in the eyes of the beholder. The very best part is when you first start to rise, looking at the game through a new set of eyes. Start it up and let's start over. I love the game even more now that I am older. I want a blank canvas so I can just ride, looking at the world through a new set of eyes. Hey, you're finally awake. Enjoy a deep breath, it's the last you'll ever take. You did nothing wrong, well the guy next to you did. You can all go to Helgen and get executed. You a cat, lizard, human, or maybe you're an orc. Make your face really cool so you don't look like a dork. Single file line.
Step away from the wagon.
Put your head on the block. Oh my God, it's a dragon! Run away, grab the gear off the dead guy. Take what you can carry, sell it off, and you'll get by. Kill a few wolves, tan the leather on a rack. Visit Riverwood and get the golden claw back. Make a little magic, swing a better blade. Learn from Adrian how all the armor gets made. Level up, and pick a new perk. Select a standing stone and let's get to work. Tamriel's wide open, I can do what I please. I can mix up potions or collect all the cheese. I can be an assassin or do a lot of crime. I really won't be a stealth archer this time. Climb the 7,000 steps, meet the Greybeards. I'm the first Dovahkiin you've seen in 500 years. I'm a Fus Roda. Let your games begin. Protect your dragon neck, cause I'm coming for you all to win. Start it up, and let's start over. The beauty of this game's in the eyes of the beholder. The very best part is when you first start to rise, looking at the game through a new set of eyes. Start it up, and let's start over. I love the game even more now that I am older. I want a blank canvas so I can just rise, looking at the world through a new set of eyes. Competitive or casual, I'm ready to play. I'm in the rocket car soccer zone today. I know there's lots of toxic children always in the way, but let's forgive each other and have fun, okay? Here we go with the kickoff. Pass it over here. The other team attacks. Ooh, teammate, nice clear, but don't double commit. It's okay, I'll defend. I got it. Oh my God, you're doing it again. And then you whipped and they scored. It's okay, I forgive. Angry's not the kind of gaming life I want to live. And now I missed. Okay, my bad, I'll admit it. Always own your mistakes when you take a shot and don't hit it. Really, what a save? Now you're spamming the chat. All the times you messed up and now you're acting like that. I'ma focus on the game. Do the best that I can. We would be winning if my teammate could give me a hand. And now you forfeit. 3 minutes left, we're down by 1. I hate you. You're the reason this game is not fun. And now you stop playing. Look at all the damage you did. Oh my God, I'm turning into one of the toxic kids.
Maybe people should think before they speak.
Okay, let it go. Say GG. Put the controller down. You don't have to start another game right now. Just let it go. Stand up. Drink some water. Get your mind right. Let it go. Okay. Start it up and let's start over. The beauty of the game's in the eye of the beholder. The very best part is when you first start to rise, looking at the game through a new set of eyes. Start it up and let's start over. I love the game even more now that I am older. I want a blank canvas so I can just rise, looking at the world through a new set of eyes. Game mindfully. Put your desk in the corner. Keep your feet on the ground. Tell him, King.
Life isn't a support system for art. It's the other way around.
Yeah.
Oh no, we got another copyright strike.
Veteran Gamers. VG Hub.
Get into it. This is not good radio.
I just want to say, f this game. I'm done.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. And thanks to Stu and Chinny for helping out with that. Chinny was the one who said a single file line, and Stu said step away from the wagon. So they were guards in Skyrim for that particular adventure.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was good. That was really
It
good.
was good.
Thank
It was
you.
really, really good.
Had a lot of fun making it. Yeah. It's always fun to start off with a blank canvas, as I say. But the tricky thing with Rocket League is that you can easily turn into one of the toxic kids. So when I was writing that verse, I was like, ooh, I will show myself starting with let's forgive each other and have fun, and then turning into one of the toxic kids and realizing, okay, starting over is a chance to.
You got quite angry on that verse.
Oh, so angry. It's so easy to become one of these toxic children, and you don't realize that that's what you're doing. But you spread that same rage that people spread into you, unless you let it go.
Yeah.
You got to let it go. So
Gotta let it go.
Paul
Gotta let it
Wilson.
go.
Paul Wilson in the chat says, "Have you heard of Eminem? You could be D&D."
Oh, yeah, Duke and Duke. Or
There
Duke
you
and
go.
Duchess. Maybe we could get together.
But can we just say, prior to that, he put definitely better than I was expecting.
Yeah.
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 Well, I get that a lot. A lot of students are like, "Oh God, I didn't think you had any lyrics," but I do got bars.
There's a
Spit
song.
lyrics.
There's a song
So
that
there
you
you
did
go.
years ago.
Yeah, you got
Years.
in trouble. You got in trouble.
Yeah,
for
and
it,
I
didn't
love
you?
that song. I forgot what it was. I forgot what it's called.
It
but
was about Call of Duty.
Are you talking about
wasn't it?
support the virtual troops?
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. That's the
Yeah.
one.
With where I had to take it down because the school was worried that I was showing myself playing these video games, and I'm like, "Hello, the lyrics are about non-violence and how real violence is
I
stupid."
really, I like that one as well. I like this one.
Thank you.
What's it called? This song?
Thank you.
What's it called?
So this one's called "Start It Up,"
Started up.
and brackets OMG, because in each verse at one point I say, "Oh my God," and so it's I'm the OMG OG.
You should get it on Spotify.
Yeah, get it on
Unfortunately, I
Spotify.
did not make the beat. I stole the beat
Ah, you
from
stole the
some YouTube channel called Anabolic Beats. That's why at the beginning there's a little kid going Anabolic Beats.
Fair enough.
And I have a lot of samples in there that I don't own from Minecraft and Skyrim and Wu-Tang Clan, and there's a Taylor Swift sample in there somewhere.
I think as long as you acknowledge all those samples,
maybe.
you could
I don't want to take any chances.
Maybe get away.
I'll put it on
might-
YouTube.
We might get a copyright strike for it then. I'm not.
Oh no, we got another copyright
yeah, we might.
strike.
He's on the
do.
video.
So yeah, I'm gonna
Maybe.
make a video for it, and when summer hits, I got one more week of school, but then I'll make a video for it using footage from all those games and stuff. And yeah, it's
To be fair, it was Eminem-ish. Can I just say it was a bit Eminem-ish.
well, Eminem is a bit Rakim-ish, and Rakim was a bit, there's all sorts of
It's derivative.
people
It's
that
derivative.
owe their yeah. I mean, I would say that Eminem came along long after I started writing lyrics. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah, he copied off
we're
you.
all
He copied off
influenced by
you.
each other. He did copy off of me. That's right.
Copied off of you.
The important thing is I'm glad people like it, and I will be making it available on YouTube, and there'll be an MP3 somewhere at some point. people can check
Eminem's
out,
song
so.
"Rap God" is actually about you, Duke.
It is.
Yeah, well, yeah, I wouldn't be
Totally.
surprised. So, that
well
now
done.
it's weird. I was working on that, like I said, all week, and then yesterday I was like 5 hours putting the poor Duchess had to hear me listen to it over and over again.
Oh,
I could have
that's
used
how it
headphones,
is.
but I wanted to listen to it on the studio speakers here, so it's like whatever.
James Bevan
Yep,
says
but-
Duke got skills.
Yeah, it's Duke's
Oh,
got
thank you,
skills.
James. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. SLH said she loves it.
Just to bring things down a bit, right? I have had the weirdest night ever. Can I just say?
Okay, it sounds like a
Very
story
nice.
time is
It
coming.
is a little bit.
Favorite
little bit.
time. It's story time. Story time.
So basically, last night Millie said to me, "I think I've got something stuck in my foot." Right? So I was
Uh-oh.
like, "What do you mean, like a splinter or something?" She said, "I don't know." She said, "I think it's a hair." Right? And I'm like, "How do you get a hair stuck in your foot?" So I had a look,
Pretty weird.
and she had it did look like a black line, like just under a little toe. Right? So I was like, So she said, she texted me at work today and said, "Right, you've got to get whatever this is, you've got to get it out because it is driving me potty." So I've had to perform an operation tonight. They knit it like a sewing needle, a magnifying glass, boiling water, and a set of tweezers. Right. So
Oh my goodness.
I know. So I started this my grandma taught me everything I know. She was the best splinterer, getter outerer that ever lived. So
Okay.
yeah, so I started by, slowly cutting away the top of the skin to get to whatever this thing was. It was deep as well. It was really deep.
Sure.
And I eventually could see it. I made a channel where it was, could see it, and I poked a bit out. And it was a bloody eyelash. She had an eyelash embedded in her foot. How
Oh
the
hell! What is she doing?
I have no idea. And it was really deep. I'm like, how the fuck do you get an eyelash embedded in your foot? What the hell is
That's
going
so
on?
bizarre.
It was very
Is it
bizarre.
was it a real eyelash or a fake
yeah,
eyelash? you
No,
think?
no, it was a totally real eyelash. I got it.
That's so
I poked a
bizarre.
bit of it out, and it was top of it sticking out like the hair, and I'm like,
Stop
it is a
walking
hair.
around barefoot at the hair salon,
Yeah,
Millie.
It's actually
That's
a hair.
crazy.
Yeah, but it
So
took a
she's
bit of a
doing better
toll.
now, though.
Yeah. It's still hurting because obviously I've cut into a foot with a
Well,
needle.
yeah.
But
You
other than
cut her
that,
foot open. Yeah.
yeah, only a little bit, surface stuff. But even so,
Yeah.
kind of bizarre, totally
It is
bizarre.
bizarre. Yeah.
So there you go. That's what I
Mhm.
did tonight. What about you guys?
All right.
I get really excited when I get a splinter.
Why?
When you get
I
it
don't
out
know.
or when you get it in?
Like, because I know the process of getting it out is going to be fun.
Oh yeah, and it's also quite
Fun.
It's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, tonight I've
It
got
can
to
be
say,
satisfying, but it's not. I don't.
yeah, out of every
Fun.
splinter I've removed, tonight's was probably the trickiest and kind of the most satisfying.
Yeah.
You know, when I pulled that sucker out, and even when it was sticking out, right, and I had the tweezers. It took a bit of a tug to get it out. You know, it was
Yeah.
properly in there.
I get really excited about it. I'm like,
So
oh yeah, I got a
weird.
splinter. Yeah, I got to get that.
Gotta
Really
get that
excited. Y'all
sucker
are
out.
weird, man.
Get that sucker out, man.
Hmm.
Oh,
I
satisfying.
mean, I understand the satisfaction part of it, but like, I don't know. Oh
I've just-
boy, I get to pull a splinter out.
Yeah,
I've just felt off all day.
have you?
I'm sorry.
You know, like not ill,
Off all day, not awful day.
just off. Like,
Yeah, you've been off. I'm
like,
sorry.
like I'm doing.
Spilling your nuts everywhere.
I'm doing a
Not
lot of this,
A1.
just like
Not A1.
you know, just staring,
Mm,
not really like
okay.
present. I don't know what it is today. I was like
That's pretty weird.
when we started the show, I was
Do you
like,
have
oh,
an eyelash in your foot, maybe?
maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
You know, Tara says, "Oh, are you alright?" So I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I just feel a bit plain."
Mm,
It's a bit
sometimes it happens. You just have one of those days.
And then the idea of like talking on this show for 2 hours, I was like, "Oh God." Just,
Ay.
what's wrong
Well,
with
don't worry.
Stu?
First 5
What's wrong
minutes, you
with
get to just
Stu?
sit there listening to my awesome. What?
What's Stu doing?
Uh-oh.
Stu's
He's
took his
hearing something. He's taking his headphones
Is
off.
somebody else got a splinter? Is
Don't know, some weird
Is-
noise going on upstairs. I'm trying to work out
My
what the hell
splinty
that is.
sense is tingling. I must go rescue someone with their splinter. He's just staring at the ceiling with his headphones off, so he can hear what's going on.
it's Millie just stamping on a bunch of eyelashes.
All right. Well, while y'all are doing God knows what, I will announce that I had a victory this past week. In addition to the awesome jam that I put together, I reached my 1,000th day of studying Spanish on Duolingo.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're fully
So I
fluent
felt
now
pretty
because
good.
that's like 3
Nah,
years.
It is 2.5 years.
Yeah,
It's been a lot of
it's a long
stuff.
time.
I've learned a lot of words. Yo puedo hablar con Juan a mi escuela.
You want to shove a
And,
comb
you
up
know-
my arse?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's
I
a
do
weird
want to
thing
shove a
to
comb
say.
up your ass because it's as satisfying as a splinter, except more so.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
congratulations.
so, you know.
If that was
Yeah,
good, thank you.
congratulations.
if there was lessons, 1,000 tutored lessons with a private tutor, and you couldn't speak Spanish by now,
Yeah,
Then
that
that
would
would
be
be a
pretty
problem.
Well,
shocking.
but it also depends on how
Shocking.
long they are because these lessons take maybe 5-10 minutes. So, you know, a 5-minute lesson isn't going to really get you much in general.
go
So
to
I like
s-
the fact that you can do it in small chunks.
just go to Spain for a year. You'll
Yeah,
pick it
so
up.
I don't
So
have time
here's
or
a-
money for that.
Here's a question, though. Here's a question.
What's the question?
So if you went to Spain, do you reckon you'd get by?
No.
Oh,
I reckon I'd be
shit.
able to have very minor conversations, but I'd reach points where I was like, hang on, let me put it in Google Translate, or I'd hold up the sign, you know, the image to the, I mean, maybe, I don't, it's hard to know, you know?
Well, what
like
most-
I've been able to tell the dude, so there's this custodian at my school who speaks Spanish, and like every time I see him, I try to have a conversation, and I'm getting a little better each time, but I still, you know, every time I start talking, like I'm like, oh, I don't know this word, I don't know that word.
Do the British thing and shout loudly in English.
Yeah, shout more loud and slowly. and
Oh, that's an
enunciate
American thing
everything.
too, definitely. Yeah.
There
Well,
you
Howie
go.
Mandel once upon a time did a bit about that. He's like, you go to someplace else, and you're like, where is the bus? And they're like, it's like, where is the bus? But turn that around. Someone comes up to you and says, and you're like, I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, it's been a bit of a monumentous week in America, hasn't it? Trump has been convicted.
Yes, he has been convicted
Wow.
of 34 felony counts.
Yeah.
and it's not going to have any impact on his
Still gonna
base.
run. He's still gonna run.
Imagine, and I told my students the only reason we don't have a law. I mean, in most states you can't vote if you have a felony record. And the only reason we don't have a law against someone with a felony record being president is because 10 years ago, if you had suggested it, people would be like, "That's never gonna happen."
And he's got a few. He has a few more to come as well, doesn't he? That's not the only trial that's on its way.
Oh yeah, well, those other 3 trials probably won't happen before the election, so we'll see. But I saw something that said if he goes to prison, which I'm skeptical. I don't think he'll actually get prison time. I mean, it's possible, but I doubt it. The Secret Service, who has to protect him, they will be in prison as well.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
How much does that suck?
Yeah,
I didn't sign up for this.
Apparently, though, I've heard.
I want you to jump out of helicopters.
Because
jump in front of that shank.
Even though he's been like unanimously convicted, because he's not shown any remorse or shown that he even agrees with the sentence or the fact that he's been found
or respects
guilty,
the judge in any way.
Or respects the judge may be quite harsh in light of that.
Hey,
so
I think that would be perfectly fair. I don't share the Schadenfreude of a lot of people. I mean, I just don't want him to have power. I don't wish him to die. I don't wish him to suffer. I don't wish any horribleness upon him. I don't want him. Look, I'm opposed to prisons in general. I think they're a bad thing for a society to have if we don't need it. And, you know, okay, look, a serial killer, you got to lock him up, right? Serial rapist, you got to lock him up. But somebody who, you know, nonviolent drug offenses or whatever, like, So I'm opposed to the prison industrial complex in the United States. We imprison a larger percentage of our population than any other country except China.
China.
So, you know, I'm not going to demand that he be locked up when I'm trying to say that, you know, we need to stop locking people up in general. However, you know, hey, he had a fair trial. And if this is the system we're in, then he deserves whatever punishment the law says. So
stick him in prison. That's what's got to happen to Trump. Stick him in there.
The part that really makes me sad is how many people are not, you know, if this had happened to, you know, Obama got criticized for saluting a Marine with a coffee cup in his hand at one point. He had a Starbucks cup in his hand and he saluted with the cup. And they were like, he's so disrespectful. Motherfucker, how can you now support someone who's been found guilty of 34 felony counts?
Yeah.
It's just mind-boggling. So whatever. You know, we got work to do before the election. There will be work to do after the election, regardless of who wins, and that's the end of it. So.
But some people are saying this actually improves his chances of winning.
Yeah. Well, if you propagandize people and make them think that you're the victim of a vast conspiracy of powerful people trying to, you know, and his son was on Threads begging for money. And it's like, dude, you're a billionaire's son and you're begging for money. That's so pathetic. So, look, if anybody out there is mad at me, they're like, you just don't get it, Duke. Trump is innocent, blah, blah, blah. You need to start reading different news sources, okay? Because if you only get your news from one source, then, yeah, I understand why you might think Trump is a victim of, you know, a vast group of people trying to get him in trouble unfairly. But if you read a variety of news sources, you're going to have a different perspective.
Do you know what? Do you know
get
what,
out of your little silo. Get out of your bubble.
Do you know the way I look at this, Duke, is? This is the first thing he's been caught for. Because let's be honest.
Well, he was sentenced guilty for rape
multiple times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the first time he's been found guilty in a criminal trial, and that's a good feeling for a court. That, you know, the trial was very fair. And, you know, so he had his day in court, so to speak.
He's got away with way more than he's ever going to likely to be get in trouble for.
There was something about Joe Biden. I saw a video of him, and I found it very inspirational. Do you want me to play it for you?
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Here
sure.
we go. So this is Joe Biden.
Okay.
Mr. President, what song are you listening to?
Folks, America, I'll tell you what, you see Donald Trump, you see Pizza Hut.
No, what song?
Song I'm listening to, I'm listening to my favorite song since I was a little boy, folks. It's called Two Wood Blocks Click Click.
Two Wood Blocks Click Click?
I said clickly guy. I said, take care, America.
That's not a door, Mr. President.
Delaware.
There you go. Bless him.
That's great. So Biden is he's been in politics for a very long time, and he probably shouldn't be running. He said he was only going to run the once. So
the guy's so old.
He's not my favorite guy.
I'll be honest,
but
it's kind of the same as what we've got to contend with, except you've got someone who's probably needs to be in a care home or a convicted criminal. I mean, we've got someone who's been convicted of breaking COVID laws, right? Who's running for hours, and someone who I'm not entirely sure can run a country. I don't really know what's going down.
So, well, no, Keir Starmer sort of looks like a reject from Boyzone, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we're in trouble. We're in trouble in this country. You're in trouble in your country.
Hey, Kate Tempest said it. Europe is lost.
The world's fucked.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not video
We got a lot of
games.
work to do. That's what we should say. We got a lot of work to do. Let's do work to make our countries, our society, our civilization better. But now we're going to talk about some video games.
I got my favorite video game.
Story time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
Start it up.
What you been playing?
And let's start over.
My favorite video game since I was a boy with the blocks or the clickety-clack.
That's kind of what it is. I mean, that's what Minecraft is, basically.
Oh, dear.
Clickety-clack.
All right, who's going first?
Delaware.
Delaware.
Chinny, you should go first because you have the fewest games, but you had this mystery game.
Yeah, an
that you
extra.
mentioned
Let's
last week.
find out what the mystery game is.
We're gonna start with Chinny. A mystery
game.
I started this game in 2018.
What?
Oh my god!
Senua's
Saga.
It's an old game.
And then I put it down. I put about 20 hours into it.
20 hours?
Okay.
20 hours.
Damn.
What the fuck are you been
A
playing?
lot of hours.
And then I put it down and picked it back up again last year. But now I'm back in. I'm back in this game.
Go on. What's the name of this game?
Can you guess? Or can you I've mentioned it on the
GTA 5?
No.
No.
I will give you a clue. It is a
give us a clue.
It is a game that last year got a sequel.
What the fuck? So is it story driven then? Is it story driven? I'm guessing.
Not really. It's not.
Oh, it isn't story.
There is story, but it's not really known for its story. Some say this is one of the greatest games ever made. Some say the sequel is even better.
Oh, Breath of the Wild.
Ba 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 ba.
Yeah! Something right with Nintendo. Huzzah!
Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
It's always been. I forgot that you'd have to play that sound effect.
Yeah, well, that's more of a Tears of the Kingdom sound effect, but still.
I forgot. It's always been like a little niggle of mine that I've never really give this game a good bloody go. So I'm 20
determined. Hours is kind of a good go, but
yeah. Well, look, I didn't realize how much I'd played of it, and then but now I'm giving it another go. So I'm playing.
So did you start over? Or did you pick up from where you left off?
No, I've started over. It was two. I mean, it was
started up, and let's start over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
catchy.
Yeah, it's great. So I've done one of the divine beasts.
All right, okay.
Like
so you've got a fair way in then.
Well, the first.
Well,
divine
not
beast,
necessarily. Well, you can go and do them straight away.
The problem was I did mainline that divine beast, Ruta the elephant.
Okay.
Ruta the
but
elephant.
You didn't have a lot of hearts, a lot of
didn't
good
have a lot of
weapons,
hearts,
so
which
it must have been tough.
Which, when I had to fight the boss on that beast, kind of fucked me up a little bit because I was like, this is pretty.
Well, you didn't have a lot of hearts, but you had a lot of heart. So there's,
you did.
Get it?
And
what I did there.
What I like about this game is because now that we know now that I know that Tears of the Kingdom basically is a game where they gave you a bunch of tools to almost break the game. Do you know what I mean? Like break the game and figure it out yourself. You see little elements of that in this because there was a tower that I had no right in climbing up.
Yeah, you didn't have anywhere near enough stamina to get to the top.
Not enough stamina. There was too many fucking sentinel drone things patrolling it. There was too many enemies around it. There was all this. Then I got to the top, and there was all this purple shit around it. And I was like, and Jamie at work, because I've been playing this at my lunchtime at work, right? Said, I don't think you're supposed to do this tower. I would come back, and I went, fuck you. So
You're not my dad.
You're not my dad. And then my dad rang me and said, I don't think you're supposed to do this tower.
You're not my dad.
And I said,
Dad.
Dad, you are my dad, but you're not the dad.
You're not
of
my
this-
mom.
You're not my mom. And then
Yeah.
my mom video called me and signed. I don't think you should play this game.
And you said you're not some random guy at work.
You're not my brother. And then no, my brother didn't ring me.
You're not my child. And then Rosa like, da pa tower.
That's what Rosa does at the moment. So
She's close to talking, I assume, huh?
she talks.
You said she's babbling a lot.
She
Yeah.
fucking talks a lot, but I don't know what
But
she's
not,
saying.
like, legit words yet.
But like sometimes she'll just go blah blah. I don't know what she's doing. But she's saying something. That girl saying
Yeah.
something. Anyway, so
Sure.
I make it to this tower. There's all this purple shit around this tower, and there is no way I should be able to climb it. But I find this column, and I climb up it, and there's like 4 pixels. And I'm like, if I just jump on those 4 pixels and then jump over there, I can climb up. And then I'm climbing up the
You
tower.
can reset your stamina by resting
and
on
I'm
those
like,
4 pixels.
if
or
I just
whatever,
balance on this little ledge that's got a bunch of purple stuff, but if I just balance on the edge, I could reset my stamina and then make my way up
Yeah,
further.
there you go.
And eventually, I did it. All right. And,
Yay!
And that's, I feel like that's the beauty of this game. And then I love that, and the fact that I love that, I'm like, well, I'm gonna love Tears of the Kingdom because I know that's what it's all
I
about.
think as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
I
sure.
think what's cool about it is the way they made the game is to nothing's out of bounds, is it? Once you get out of that first area, you can have a go. You could even go and fight the final bosses if that's what you want to have a go at doing, and that's how people beat the game in, like, I don't know, some ridiculous, like 12 minutes or something ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, nothing is out of bounds in a sense, but then you've got some restrictions, like it's very cold in this area, right?
Yeah.
So it's not technically out of bounds, but the smart person knows.
Yeah,
they're
you're
giving you
not gonna
warning
last
signs.
there.
Do not
Like,
go here.
Yeah,
There's
you're not going to go in there.
Yeah, there's some areas
dying.
where like it's just going to snow or it's too hot and you're just going to burn alive, right? So technically, there's you can go anywhere. And I think what put me off last time I played it, the reason why I stopped playing it was because I went to a very hot area, and I was just like dying all the time. And this isn't a game that really rewards you for taking a break. You've really got to be absorbed in it. You've got to know all the systems with it. You've got to learn how to cook stuff and what gives you heat resistance and cold resistance. And like little things like I shot a bird with a ice arrow, right?
Yeah.
Which gave me frozen meat. And then when I cooked that frozen meat, that gives me heat resistance.
Yeah, right, okay.
So then I started doing that. So I killed a bunch of birds, and then I was like, oh, I've got a bunch of frozen meat. What I'll do is I'll save those, and when I get to a little pot, I'll cook them. But the problem is, after a while, they just thawed out. So they just become regular meat. So it's this game that constantly... It's just constantly like doing little tricks like that, and it's so clever.
Sure.
And also, this game rewards curiosity really well. So as soon as you see like, oh, why is there a bunch of birds flying around that one spot on the pond?
It's not random. They're doing that for a reason.
Why is that tree just growing at the top of that mountain? Why is that wall like look like it could break? You know, all these little things. What is that?
Yeah.
What is this?
Sure.
Yeah, and it's great. And then some of the shrines are harder than others. Some of them are just like, you know, remember those like bubble puzzles that you had as a kid? Like they're like little things that you hold and you press a button and it blows little bubbles and you have to put a ball on a thing or something like that. It's like some of them are just sort of like that, or you know, like you roll the ball into
you just
this.
teleport this thing over here and it creates
and
a bridge. And you
some of them are
walk
just
across
like
and you're
fight this machine, and then some of them.
Yeah.
One of them, I was convinced I had to. I basically found a way to propel myself over this gate, and then realised that all I had to do was pick up a key with my magnet power and put it through the gate, because I just did it the really, really hard way, which was ridiculous, but it's just a testament to how creative this game is. So, yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. I'm really, really giving it a go. And every time I play the game, I think, why am I not playing this more? Like, this is brilliant.
Yeah, sure.
But then when I'm not playing it, I was talking to Fraser about this. Is like, it's not really a game that draws you in that well. Like when I'm not playing it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's okay. It's a decent game, I suppose. But then once you're playing it, it's a brilliant game. It's an absolute brilliant game.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm determined.
Now let me ask you this question: you beat a boss. How many times did your weapon break when you fought that boss?
Take this. Oh no.
A few times, and it's a few times where I've basically had no bow and arrow,
wow.
like a bow basically. I've had no bow, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So yeah, I'm being a little bit more a bit more savvy about that stuff. And it's just like there's another thing where like there's this rock enemy that sucks like air in, and if you're not careful, he'll draw you in with his sort of like power. But if you throw a rusty sword at him, he spits it out and it's sharpened. Like weird or like stupid things like that. Like, how do you think of this?
You got to just experiment with certain things.
Yeah, well,
it's not going to be obvious what you have to do.
Well, that's what makes this game so cool because it rewards that experimentation.
It's incredible.
I mean, that's what Nintendo's always been about. It's like, I mean, the idea of a Metroidvania comes about because you had to go exploring in the original Metroid.
It is incredible, and the when I was doing that tower, it was also raining as well. So when it's raining, you can't climb as high. And Jamie was like, "Oh, obviously the game is trying to tell you not to do it." And then it stopped raining, and I went, "Ah ha ha!" All right, so now I can go. So it is incredible. I watched a video about how this game was designed, and there's very, very limited resources and videos about it. But this guy has done like a lot of digging, and basically,
I thought you meant they had very few resources when they were making it. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
it's hard to find information.
It's hard to find information, but this guy on YouTube found a bunch of it, and saw some like heat maps of like basically they used towers to draw people's eyes, but the problem was when they did that, the heat map was just the same for everybody, so. They invented shrines and points of interest and dotted it. So the idea is that you see a tower, but when you walk towards it, it disappears. So you know roughly the tower's there, but then on the way you're like, oh, there's about 3 things that I've seen here, and I don't know what they are. And the game designer said like it's all about triangles. So everything in all the hills in Breath of the Wild are basically triangles, so you know something's around the corner, and as you go around, it reveals. So it's really interesting.
I mean, that's the shape of most mountains and hills, anyway. But I know what you mean. The design was intentionally done to obscure stuff.
Yeah,
and
so
make
if you don't want them to see that yet, put a triangle in front of it, basically.
Right. Sure.
And then put something on those interesting bits of the sides of the triangle, like at the bottom or halfway up, and then you make your way to it. And yeah, just incredible, absolutely incredible game. I know that I'm 6 years late to the party. But
better late than never.
I'm playing catch up, and I'm very, very late. We're playing Uncharted 4. That's 8 years old, and I'm late.
Never played.
That's how behind I am on these things. So
don't worry, we'll talk about Uncharted 4 soon.
And I think I'm sort of just trying to play the greatest games ever at the moment because I'm having trouble keeping up with any game. So
there's so much out.
If I just focus on what are the greatest games that I've missed, basically, what are the not like, oh, you should try this you might like it. I went, might like it isn't good enough for me right now, right?
And that comes from one person, whereas if you can get Metacritic scores like, okay, these are the most agreed upon goats, I gotta play those.
Like even like with like things like Alan Wake 2 or like I know I've played it, but God of War Ragnarok, or the next game sort of in my peripheral is Star Wars Survivors, because I know that I loved the first one, so I know I'm going to love that one, and people said it was even better. So I don't have time for games where I'm like, I might like it. I have to play games where it's got to be one of the best games out there, and I know I'm going to like it, because I don't even have time to play those ones. So there you are, Breath of the Wild.
You're still not finished Alan Wake 4, have you? You know what I'm saying?
No one's finished Alan Wake 4.
I finished Alan Wake 4. Oh no, Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said
I was
that.
going to say no one's finished Alan Wake 4.
No, they haven't. Alan Wake 2 is what I meant to say. Don't know why I
No.
said 4, but it's number 2 is what I meant to say.
Yeah. I know. It's. I'll get to it. Don't worry. I'll get to it. So that's me. Breath of the Wild.
Very good. Duke, over to you.
Yeah, so I got some games that there's nothing new to talk about. Rocket League, Fallout 76. I did get back onto the Lilac server. I was talking last week about how I had gotten banned under one username and then whatever. I got them to. You were absolutely right, Stu. All I had to do was go back and say, hey, can you unban this other one? And they even gave me all my money because on these servers you do jobs and like you get money. And so I had $1.9 million on that other account, and they were like, we gave you your money back. I was like, you know what? In a way, start it up and let's start over.
Yeah.
It works with the money on the server too. So in a way, I'm like, I don't want that money. But on the other hand, if I need diamonds, it takes forever to go down and dig them up. So if I can just buy them, it's like, I'll just buy them. Fuck it. So it's saving me trouble and time and stuff. And I could give the money away, but I'm not going to do that. So anyway, if anybody wants to play Minecraft on the Java version, find me and let's play on Lilac. You can build near me.
So you spent a whole Saturday. Trying to find a new server, and then if you
Yeah, you did.
Jesus Christ! Don't give
And then
me
I threw it all away.
My time is so precious.
This is how ridiculous. Can we just say?
That's a good point.
This is how ridiculous Duke is. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm pretty ridiculous. There's no doubt about it. And then on Saturday, this past Saturday, that was a week ago, and then this past Saturday, it was all working on the song. So
the songs,
Saturdays are mine.
Yeah, the song's useful.
That was useful time.
Yeah, wow. If you enjoy doing it, it's not wasted time.
Well,
I
it's
sort of
more-
enjoyed those Minecraft things.
Yeah, but
More useful than for something that had no end product for you.
Well, right, that's true. That's
I think
true.
when
That's
you're
true.
working
So
on,
anyway, whatever.
When you're working on something that adds something
Creative.
to the world.
Yeah.
Right. When
I
you're
think
making
that's-
art, it's different from just playing a game. Agreed. Okay, so Chinny said, "Oi, Duke, you should play this new game. It's like COD. It's a multiplayer. It's
I
free."
did say that, yeah.
And I was like, "Ooh,
It did.
free? Call of Duty? Okay, what do we got here?"
I said it
It's
like
called
that.
Extrafiant.
Yeah.
He did. It was weird because it was a text on WhatsApp, but I could hear him.
You should play
Yeah.
Extrafiant.
So it's called X-Defiant. It's on Ubisoft. And first of all, when I start up Ubisoft's client, it does that thing of like, and I'm on the PC. I don't know if y'all play on the PC, but sometimes you start a game or a program, and it's like, bloom, do I have permission to change your hard drive? You know what I'm talking about? These little things that are like, I need to change something. Okay. So I was like, okay, yes. And bling, do I have permission? Yes. Click. Bling. Motherfucker. It did it like 10 times.
Do I
And
have
I'm like,
permission
what is this?
to hack your doorbell?
Yeah, do I have permission to take your
I
bank
thought-
details?
I thought maybe somebody had done a worm or something, malware that waits for a program to ask that, and then it like pretends to be that program or something. I don't know what. We're watching Mr. Robot, so I'm like, the world. Anyway, I go looking on, the internet, like, what is this? And there were threads all over Reddit, like, why does it keep asking me 7 times? And the top answer, one of them was, something is causing Windows to not actually give it permission. So just run it as an administrator and it'll fix it. And I did, and it does. So whatever. Okay, X-Defiant, the game. Call of Duty?
Oh, yeah, Call of Duty.
It's kind of like that, except it's also, okay, it is a shooter. It's free. It's not Battle Royale, which I'm glad to see. They're not just doing Battle Royales. I think the Finals was the game recently that broke the Battle Royale mold and said, we're going to do something other than a Battle Royale, which I was glad to see because I'm sick of Battle Royales. I was never really into them. But anyway, so this has like 6 game modes perhaps. One of them is kind of like Overwatch, where you have this machine that's slowly moving forward if you're near it, and the other team obviously is trying to shoot you while you're trying to be near it, so they know where you're going to be, and it's shooting each other while also moving this thing forward a little bit at a time. There's another, there's several game modes that are like control these points, and you'll get more points if you control those points. Although, like Call of Duty, these levels are a little too small to really make control points anything more than just you leave one control point, you're already in the next one. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like Battlefield invented the whole control point thing, and their maps have always been very, very large. So I've never really been into Call of Duty's domination map mode because they're relatively small maps. So I don't know. I just can't get into it on a small map.
Yeah.
But they They do have a team deathmatch mode. At first I had written down no team deathmatch, and then I realized, oh wait, they do. It's called Hot Shot, and it's basically kill confirmed from Call of Duty, which means yes, you're going to get kills, but it depends. You have to get their dog tags that they drop when they when they die. So it's not just team deathmatch, which I went looking for. I'm a team deathmatch player. That's all I play when I play Call of Duty. Yeah, but it's it's good. It's the matchmaking takes a long time, and it's taking a little longer to boot up than it really should. And that's kind of frustrating because it feels like, Call of Duty takes a long time to load up, which it didn't used to, right? Once upon a time, Call of Duty felt like the gold standard of just like start it up, boom, you're in a match. And, ever since they went to Blizzard, I'd say there's more and more bloat on the game. And, they add the Battle Royale. And of course, there's a whole single player thing on it. So I would imagine a game like this would have faster load times and faster, get you into a game. But it's not. And that's kind of frustrating.
I mean, it looks like Call of Duty. I mean,
it plays like Call of Duty. You've got,
it looks a bit more cartoony though. The characters don't look. It is a
little cartoony, and what they're doing with the characters is they're borrowing from their most well-known franchises. So when you pick who you're going to play as, you're picking from like 6 different teams, and the teams are all from Ubisoft franchises. So one of them's from Far Cry 6, one of them's from Ghost Recon, one of them's from Watch Dogs, and that sort of thing. So, it's cute, it's fun. One of them's from The Division. And so, that's cool. And they each have different abilities. I tend to go for the one who can heal people.
I think the levels are from Ubisoft games as well.
Yeah, they are. They are as well, right. Yeah. So it's pretty smart that they're, just repurposing stuff from other games and turning it into a free shooter. The thing so there's one funny thing, and then I'll tell you the thing that's driving me crazy. The funny thing is, at the end of the round, it'll say, here's your team, and it shows you each of the people on your team. And then below each person is their name, and then like what they did to help the team during the match, right? So it'll say, Duke, 15 kills, Stu, 3 captures, Chinny, healed 7 people or whatever. And so there was one match I played that had all of those things, and I had something like, got 3 control points or whatever. And then the person on the end, it said like, Fred helped.
Yeah.
It just said helped. That's all. Which is the easiest way to say this person did not help at all.
He turned up.
Right, exactly.
He had a go.
Like participation trophy.
me,
Yeah, exactly. So that was funny. It's generally pretty solid, but and I know that I suck because I just started playing. I don't know the maps. I don't really, know the keys super well. And these are glitch shooters, so you got to be twitch shooters, I guess they're called. It's about responding quickly and getting out of the line of fire when you're getting hit or whatever. But the thing that drives me nuts is one of the things that you do when sometimes you turn a corner and suddenly it's you and an enemy and you just firing wildly, right? The person who wins that fight is the one who can hop the most quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's this boing, 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 and I can't get a beat on them because they're boing, 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 boing. That should not be a thing in a shooter. I'm sorry.
Always
I know
been
it's
a thing in a shooter.
But you know what? In Call of Duty, it really doesn't help you very much. Like in Call of Duty,
I can do it in Call of Duty though.
They do it in Call of Duty, but I can aim in your midsection, and you're gonna get hit on your legs or your head if you're bouncing up and down. You know what I mean? Like I'll aim for the middle, and you're gonna get hit along the way. In this game, they're bouncing out of it because you're jumping higher, and you can jump more quickly. So it's just infuriating that it's bunny hop, and there's a name for it. People call it the bunny hop. And, look, it's a legit skill, apparently. I'll accept that it's a legit skill in the same way the demos in Rocket League are a legit skill. But when people are doing it, you're just like, motherfucker, stop. Like, I saw you first. I started shooting you first. And the only reason you beat me is because you're bouncing around like a little bunny rabbit. Oh. So it's not fair for me to be upset about it, but nevertheless I am, because it's fucking stupid.
It's a legit tactic, though, isn't it?
It is a legit. I just said it's a legit tactic. It's just a stupid tactic, and I wish it bounced less.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish you bounced more slowly, or you had less.
Do you know?
Because it also has climbing. Like there's really no need for jumping because there's like spots with the yellow stuff draping over it, and you can climb up that, and that's fine.
What I quite like about it is it's like the movie sets for the game. You know,
Right.
for the different games
Absolutely.
in Ubisoft. And again, that's kind of
Yeah.
clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you're going
It is
behind the
clever.
scenes, you know, and
Yeah, totally.
fighting in these sets that have been, which we obviously know that's not how a video game works, but it's kind of clever that they've gone, yeah, let's
is very
pretend
clever, yeah.
that there's movie sets for these
Yeah.
games that you're playing.
Absolutely.
And you see
Absolutely.
behind all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because, like, I don't know, as much as I enjoy Ghost Recon Breakpoint and, you know, Far Cry, I never played 6, but, you know, The Division and all these games, like, they're not iconic titles in the way that, like, Super Smash Brothers is drawing from iconic titles. Mario Kart draws from iconic titles. It's like, there's Donkey Kong, I'm racing against Donkey Kong. This is, you're not going to be like, oh, I just got killed by the main character in the Ghost Recon game or whatever. Like, who cares? So,
it's a good gimmick. It's a good gimmick.
It is a good gimmick, absolutely. I just think I think it feels like Ubisoft trying to flex muscles that they don't really have, but nevertheless, it's, you know, it's a fun free game, so I can't complain too much.
Duke, make no mistake, Ubisoft has made a lot of money on
They have made a lot of money. There's no doubt about it. Oh, absolutely. It's just that, yeah, whatever. It's fine.
So it's fine. It's
a cute
fine
game.
if they want to go, let's
Yes.
just do a free game and it advertises all of Ubisoft stuff.
Yes.
And it's fine.
I'll tell you what, it made me, I was curious about, you know, there's a Far Cry 6, and I never played Far Cry 6, and I like all the other Far Cry games, except for the endings of them. They're always so infuriating because the work you do ends up meaning nothing, right? And that just pisses me off about the Far Cry game. So that's why I never played Far Cry 6. But there's a part of me that's like, you know, I'll enjoy it until I get to the end. So, you know, I should play it. And then I started looking on Steam, like, how much is it? Maybe there's a deal on Humble Indie Bundle. And I went back to the Ubisoft, you know, application. And it's like, here's your library. Far Cry 6 is in there. They must have given it away at some point. I'm like, why do I own Far Cry 6? I was like, okay, well, fair enough. You could have gotten more money from me, but nope. I'm going to get it. I got it free somewhere.
Got it free.
I hope I didn't buy it. Maybe I did buy it.
Well, I'm going to talk about Senua's Saga, or Senua's
Yes.
Saga.
Did you finish this?
I should have done. I would have done. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Okay.
But the dick took priority this week. So had it not been for the fact
Attention listeners who don't know, he's talking about his deck, but it's very
dick.
funny to pronounce it
dick.
differently.
Yeah, so if I hadn't spent 3.5 hours power washing the dick this week, I would have probably got it done, because the weather has been shocking. It's the first time I've had a chance to actually get out there and sort it out. So this week I've got to oil it, so I've got to sort that out this week. And we've got a drive spell coming up, so thankfully I should get that done by the end. And I've got to build an outdoor kitchen, new top for that. I've got so much shit to do. So much shit to do. Yeah, it's like that sealed podcast. I'm getting my power tools out. I'm going to be doing shit with those.
Well, on this coming weekend, you're going to Wolverhampton,
and then
London,
I'm going to London at the weekend. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
never ending. Never ending.
Ends. Never stop. Never stop. Never stop.
But I think I'm near to the last chapter of the game. I am fairly. I think, like I say, I reckon I could have boxed it off if I'd have powered through. And it's good. This game is good, but
that does not say great.
But it's hard to classify it as a game. I don't know what to say really.
As we said last week, it's very cinematic. It's more like a movie.
It's super cinematic. It has way more active stuff than interactive stuff. If that kind of makes sense. But I do like where the story's going. I'm liking the story. The voice acting is just superb. Like every character I've come across, he's so well voiced. Like none of them. The mocap is exceptional, but what you do notice the longer you play it is how repetitive that starts to get, especially in combat. So when you first see the combat, you're like, wow, this is amazing. Look at this. It's amazingly cinematic and it's all cool. And she's doing all these cool moves and it's all really well animated and all that sort of stuff. And it's great. But the further you get in, you start to see those same animations kind of over and over again. And
right, and I remember playing like, and fighting like rando enemies and then fighting sort of a boss, and like it felt very, very similar. So I assume there's not a lot of variety in the combat from person to person.
It looks cool, but it doesn't change. You get kind of 3 stock enemies. One's got a sword, so he attacks you with a sword. One's got an axe, and he throws axes that you have to dodge, and also hits you with them if he gets close enough. And then one breathes fire. So one sort of breathes fire at you, and also sort of does this fire attack where he explodes as he lands. He like gets like a fire grenade and then jumps at you and slams it on the ground in front of you and sets you on fire. And that's kind of your basic 3 enemies, and they're all kind of. And then there's one that's a bit of a brute type of, like a bit bigger. But they all kind of do the same things, and
and you don't have a lot of options. You can block, you can dodge backwards, and you can attack quick and heavy, and that's it, right?
And that's about it. Yeah, dodge, parry, like quick attack, heavy attack, which is most games, to be fair. But in this game, there's not like loads of combos to learn. It's not like you can do quick, heavy, quick or something and do this fancy move.
Sure, exactly.
So although it's got the 3 basics, like all the basics, it hasn't got any of the more interesting, complicated stuff or depth to any of the combat.
Right.
It's just eye candy. This game is eye candy. It's almost a walking simulator with interactive stuff to do.
Somebody compared it to that Matrix tech demo.
Yes, it's a bit better than that. There's more to it than that.
Sounds a bit like a tech demo, though, doesn't it?
It is and it isn't. I mean, that would be doing it a bit of a disservice because there's a lot of other stuff going on. There's a fully fleshed out story. There's great story beats to it. It's just more the game elements aren't quite there, if that makes sense. It's like a full-on movie. You're like playing a 6-hour movie, which doesn't bother me much.
That sounds awful. A 6-hour movie.
No, well, I guess. Which
there better be a good story in that movie.
It's like watching 2 parts of The Lord of the Rings back to back. Which doesn't bother me that much because I am enjoying the story beats. I'm enjoying what's going on. I am intrigued as to what's going to happen at the end of the game. And so far it's been kind of cool. And there's some doubt there. There's some grey areas. You're like, is this character actually going to help me, or are they going to betray me at some point? So it does keep you guessing. So I am fine with it. It's just like I said, it's not the most compelling gameplay is probably the best way to put it, but everything else about it is just amazing.
Tickety boo.
Yeah, everything. I mean, the way it looks, the way it sounds, the music, the like disparate voices that you're hearing all the time. Once you've got headphones on, they're so cool. They're in the middle, they're at the sides, they're at the back of you. It's amazing what they've done with the sound engineering on this game. The visual stuff is just crazy, off the charts. But I want to see an Unreal Engine 5 game that's an actual bona fide game at this point. We've got all the bells and whistles. Let's now fully utilize all that stuff. That's what I want to see next. But this is a good start. It's a great start. So there you go. I will finish this game this week.
Oh,
right? Chinny.
Go for it. Finish it.
I will do. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Chinny, back over to you. Have you got anything else other than the Play My Game bitch and does it hold up?
Does it hold up?
No, not really. No, that's
Shall we do the Play My Game bitch then?
Play My Game?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Bitch. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. Play my game, bitch.
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection.
Yeah, bitch.
So, another Crab's Treasure.
Another Crab's Treasure.
Yeah, is what we played this week. First of all, can I say?
No.
I didn't know.
You better not.
I didn't know Businessman Bob had a sideline as a bit part actor in video games. That's the first thing I'm saying.
It's pretty funny. So this game, you are a crab, a hermit crab, and the first thing that happens is a shark toy, on a stick with the little
lone
thing
shark
that makes his mouth move.
Right,
he's a lone shark, and he comes up and takes your shell, and he says, the Duchess, not just the queen, the Duchess, owns this property and now owns your shell, and you better pay taxes or you're going to be in a world of hurt. And so it's making this commentary about like the idea of taxes and all this stuff. So yeah, it's very funny.
And it does sound exactly like Businessman Bob.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. He's very cut and dry and very like, look, this is the way it is, kid.
Yeah,
Not
that's
my problem.
exactly what he
You know where to
sounded
live?
like.
Not my problem. Now, when you say sounded like, it's text on the screen, but it is written like.
No, he does
Businessman
talk.
Bob.
He talks. He has.
Not in my game, he didn't.
At
Well,
the
he did in
start,
my
at the
game.
start he does, yeah.
He's fully
and
voice
then,
acting.
No, at the start he does, and then he's text.
Yeah, then he's text, but
Oh.
initially he does talk.
Maybe I
He
missed
is-
the part where
he
he-
is totally
I didn't-
Businessman Bob. He sounds exactly
okay.
like you, which is why
Huh.
I said it. When you said it, then
could've
that's exactly what it
sworn I
sounded
would've-
like.
See, I don't think that happened on mine.
It definitely
weird.
happens. It definitely happens because he does.
Well, it's
talk.
possible there's a different version on PC than on the console.
And your character talks as well because you reply and everything properly, and
I
it's like
didn't hear anything.
like a child's voice. It's like,
Not
"Oh,
on
I
mine.
can't believe you're gonna take my shell off me," and all this sort of stuff. So, yeah, the
I mean,
opening
maybe I
bit
was just
is fully
hitting
voice acting.
the button too fast.
Again,
or whatever,
only at
but-
the start. For the rest
It's
of the
only
game.
very much the very first
Okay.
like 5-10 minutes of the game when you're talking to him, and then once that cutscene's kind of that initial part's finished, he doesn't after that.
Okay.
But I love the presentation.
Anyway,
I mean, first of all,
it's-
I'm going to
yeah,
say,
it looks
love it, love it how it looks.
Yeah, it looks great. It's very nice visuals. You're wandering around this, sort of ocean bed. There's trash everywhere. There's like batteries stuck in the sand. There's bottles that you can break open. I did not find the gameplay itself very enjoyable.
No, it's gone
you-
it's gone down the Dark Souls route, hasn't it, of combat?
And
So
it's strange that this
super
kind of
hard.
game is Dark Souls-ish in that it's so hard because it's very cutesy. It looks like a game for kids, but then, and I guess kids could play this. It's not like it's gory or sexually explicit or anything.
No,
It's
no.
just very, very difficult. And there is a difficulty setting at the beginning. It says you could change it if you want, but it's meant to be a hard game. And it's not just that it's hard, it's that it's, I don't know, like you have to jump across stuff and then start swimming, like, and then hope you land on the thing. And it takes a while to get used to how you move. And I mean, that's every game, I guess. But I was so frustrated with it. I just wasn't having fun. And when I finally died, I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit.
I liked a lot of the stuff in it, and the humor's kind of cool.
Yeah,
But-
the humor's good.
But I'm with you, Duke. I found, and the other problem I had, I played it for quite a while, and there wasn't a lot of variety. That was the issue I had. It was kind of fighting the same enemies, and then every now and again
Right.
they'd be like, I came across a vending machine on the because you have no shell because he's stolen your shell,
Yeah.
and I came across this vending machine with a button on it. It's like press button. So I pressed the button and it spat all these tin cans out, and then you can use one as a shell for armor. And
Oh,
I'm like,
interesting.
finally, I've got some armor, some protection. But then that triggers a boss fight, and you're stuck there. So as soon as I got killed, I lost my armor, and
You're
I
right
could,
back in it.
yeah, and
Oh,
I could do it again. I could go and press the button again. But I thought, what is the point? Because I got literally within
Yeah.
5 seconds of beating this dude, I was dead. So, and I think that was the point I got to where I was just like, nah, I've had enough now. Nope.
Kenny,
No,
what
dude.
did you think?
I thought it was good. I thought it was funny. Yeah, I quickly sort of saw that it was a Dark Souls type game. But as somebody that hasn't played the pinnacle of one of these games, which is Elden Ring, I can't really see myself playing much of it. I struggle to know who it's for because it seems like it's aimed for kids, but it's like a Dark Souls game. So, and again, like you say, Stu, it's not like kids can't play, or was it Duke? Kids can't play.
It was Duke, yeah, Duke.
Kids
said
can't
that.
play at Dark Souls games. In fact, they're probably better than us at Dark Souls games. But
Yeah, right, exactly.
it's just an odd choice, I suppose.
Yeah. It's an odd mixture of things.
But it's
like,
well- it's
if you're gonna make a
well-made.
Dark Souls type game, it is well made.
I liked
agree.
the first line where it says, "Oh, the Earth, it's all full of shit, and I don't like
Yeah.
that. So it's got a good sense of humor. It's funny, well made,
And also a serious message, you know, because it's about people throwing their shit
It's
away
like
and ending
pollution
up on
in
the
there,
ocean.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, and it's also about people owning the land. And wait, the idea of taxes, like we own this land, we're going to protect you, quote unquote. And then the dude is like, all she ever does is hire more people to protect her castle. She doesn't protect the rest of us. She just takes our money, which is basically what taxes is about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, and I like, you know, you meet this other crab when you first go out on the ocean floor, and you know, you say hello, and then all of a sudden he just wants to fight you, and he's like, oh my god,
They're
he's
all
really trying to
loopy.
fight.
They're made out to be completely loopy, aren't
Yeah.
they? These crabs.
So no, it's funny. It's funny. The quality's there. It feels fine. I'm sure it's a good game. It's not going to be for me because I haven't even played a proper Dark Souls, so let alone a spin-off. You know, if I was all in on Dark Souls type games and I'd played, you know, what that Pinocchio, Lies of P,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and,
Lies of
and I'm
P.
like, I need more Dark Souls likes in my life. Then yeah, this is like a perfect one. But no, not for me. Not for me.
Nope.
No, I'm the same. I did.
It's
I
a
enjoyed
thumbs
it
up
for what it
though.
was.
I think it's a thumbs up, but it's
Yeah.
not
Oh,
for
wow.
me.
Yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was, but it's not something I'm going to continue playing because I mean, I got the easy mode for Elden Ring, and then that was fun. It's just too difficult for me.
Did you try putting it on an easier mode, Stu?
No,
You
I
think
didn't
that would
realize.
change
I
it?
didn't realize there was a setting for easier mode.
There is.
I thought.
Do you
it was
think that would
just
make a difference, or
hard.
do you think like
Maybe.
the game itself
But
beyond
even
that?
even then, I just felt like there was a lack of variety in what I
Yeah,
played.
fair enough.
Anyway.
I think the different
Yeah,
shells.
I'm gonna
the
say
different-
thumbs down for me. Like, and it's hard to explain exactly why. Like, I know it's just personal preference, and it's not really fair to give it a thumbs down, but nevertheless, I am.
But the different shells that you get, so like if you got like a can of Coke or whatever, give you different abilities in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's like a different perk that you get with.
So that's where the variety comes in. I
Yeah.
guess.
So
But even the fact that it's locked behind a boss fight, so I could have a shell.
well, that one is.
Yeah, that one was locked behind the boss.
But there may
fight.
be others that you
There's
could have
loads,
found that
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
have that.
So.
Maybe that was a
well,
good
horses
one. Maybe
for
that was a
courses.
good one.
Yeah.
So thumbs up from Chinny, thumbs down from me. Stu, where's your thumb?
Probably a down, gotta
Oh,
say. Although I
okay.
appreciate how good it looks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But similar to you, Duke, it's just not for me.
Yep.
Not for me. Well, there you go.
Okay.
All right.
So there you go. Is that back to me then?
Yeah.
It is.
Okay. So on Steam, they're currently having a survival fest.
Ooh.
And so all these survival games are, and I got to thank Almar because he sent me a thing one time about if survival games were real life, and this person's being told all the things to do in order to survive in this survival game. And at one point he says this.
No one said staying alive was easy.
Well, no, actually staying alive is a lot easier than this. How is this fun?
So anyway, so I have a few on my wish list, and I know what you're thinking, Duke, there's no way you haven't played all of the survival games. Well, it's true, there are some that I haven't played, and one of them is called Tribes of Midgard. And we not only have some video footage for the stream, we actually have audio footage of the developer meeting. You ready? We're gonna go back in time. Okay. All right, guys. I got an idea for a game. You ready? All right. Okay. You know Valheim?
Yeah.
Yeah, game Valheim. Like what? Like that. But like isometric. You know, like so it's like top down more than like behind the character.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw
I
up.
think that could get us.
I'm gonna throw
Okay.
up. Why did that one guy need to throw up? I don't understand.
I don't know. It's really weird. I mean, he is sick of survival games, I guess, but he was working at the wrong company in that case.
Sounded
So-
excited. I think it was the excitement.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, this game it's a lot like Valheim. It's exactly like Valheim.
Well, it doesn't look like
It's exactly like Stummies.
And the twist is?
It's a much bigger pill.
Well, it doesn't look like Valheim, and it's not really like Valheim in the sense of like you're chopping down trees and stuff.
It's
but
totally
it is
like Valheim, but it's nothing
Well,
like
no, but it is
Valheim.
exactly like Valheim in the sense of gather resources, get your workbench, level up your workbench, fight enemies, get stuff, and you know it's that loop, right? and then it's like Norse mythology and it's magic.
Yeah, I've seen
So
the
like,
Norse
you know,
writing.
those
The
things,
writings
those
and
things
that font.
are very Valheimian. So, you know, whatever. It works as fine as it goes. I played it quite a bit of it. It was, I mean, I can't decide if it was fun. You know what I mean? Like,
okay,
there's, it just felt too, okay. So first of all, some of the resources were really hard to find. So for instance, fur was really frustrating to locate where the fur is. And eventually I found some wolves and stuff that got me fur. But I spent so much time running around and running around and running around before I found the fur. And like, you need fur in order to make any kind of armor. So I was running around all over the place with no armor on. I had weapons, I had a shield, I had this, I had that, but I had no armor because I couldn't find any wolves. So it just felt weird that, you know, yeah, in Valheim, like everything you need at the start is pretty much in the area where you begin, right? And in this game, not so much right off the bat. The other thing that's frustrating about this game is that there's a whole bunch of cliffs and stuff, and there's only certain spots where there are like ramps to go up into those cliff areas. So there's a lot of running around the edge of a cliff area and then, you know, eventually finding the area to walk up, and then usually there's like a barrier you got to break apart in order to get there. There's a lot of colors in the text at the start. So it's a basic design of typography that, you know, the more colors you have, the more overwhelming everything is. If you choose a few colors, you can use one of those colors for emphasis, right? But when you have 3 different colors for emphasis, it's just, it all blurs together and it's just like, not great design, people. So I don't know. It's decent. It has very positive reviews on Steam. I think it's the type of game that you really should be playing with other people, kind of like Valheim. But, you know, I got to the first boss. I did a mini boss, which, you know, I did okay with. And then I got to the first actual boss. And the trick is, with the mini boss, I could run away if I was in trouble. But with this boss, like, you go into this little arena or whatever, and it closes the doors. So you're there until you die or he dies.
You can't run away from your problems now, dude.
Can't run away from your problems, but you also can't run away to get more boost or healing things. So I realized halfway through the fight, like, oh God, I'm going to lose because I'm almost out of healing tea, and I should have brought more healing potions. So, you know, when I go back, I'll need to stock up on my healing, you know, capabilities.
But it's a learning curve, isn't it? It's a learning curve.
It is a learning curve. And it's also the type of thing where, like, he takes a lot of damage out of you with one hit. So there's that part of me is like, that's very frustrating because I have good armor. I have the best armor I can have right now, and the best shield and the best weapons and all the best everything. And it's still doing a whole lot of damage with one hit. And I'm just like, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to at least kill that boss. I don't know if it's as fun as I would like it to be in order to keep me coming back again and again and again. So
well, that's bosses for you. Bosses are hard. That's why you have bosses.
But when I'm playing Immortals Phoenix Rising, yes, bosses are hard. Well, they're not that hard in that game. But like, I can get a sense of like, I'm gonna take this guy down. Like, I'm not scared of this dude. And in this game, I'm like, I don't really know, man. I don't know if I have what it takes to really get here. So I don't know. There's bosses and then there's bosses. So.
Yeah, but you're going to keep playing. That's the main thing, I guess.
I am going to keep playing, mostly because I feel like I need to. Now, I got it for like $5, so it's not as though I have some huge investment I have to recoup on, but I do want to give it a fair shake before I make up my mind whether to play it or not. But it does feel, it's one of those games that kind of feels like a chore a little bit, and I don't like games like that. I want a game
most
to
of
be,
these games to me, though.
Yeah, drawing me back because it's so much fun. I can't wait to play again. You know, that's what Minecraft is. That's what Rocket League is. That's what Skyrim is. Start it up and let's start over.
Okay,
anyway,
okay.
That's Tribes of Midgard. It's not bad. It's just not wowing me. It's not dazzling me.
It's not great.
Yeah.
Right, Chinny, shall we do? Just hold on.
Hold on. I've got to record this.
Recording in progress.
Sorry,
okay.
I forgot about that.
Don't worry.
Remember how much you hated the previous jingle?
Yes, I did hate the previous
God,
jingle.
is this any better?
I made a new one.
Does it hold up?
I like that better. That is better.
like that one.
That's better.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for fixing
Yeah.
that.
You're welcome.
So Uncharted 4.
Yeah, we left it as we were about to break into the auction.
Yeah.
That was where we left it. We were stood on the cliff contemplating getting in.
Yeah.
Unseen.
Yeah. And is his name Wrath? Wrath? Is it the party? Wraith.
Yeah, Rafe. Turns out that's what's there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like Rafe Fine?
Yeah.
Wrath. Yeah.
Can I just say, before we get to that point, when we're getting into the place, the opening bits of this were pretty funny. You know, there's quite some decent banter.
How funny?
Well, funny-ish. You know, I like the fact...
Did you laugh so much that
I had a bit of a chuckle.
Did you like kick back your feet and your controller went up in the air? Or...
I had a bit of a chuckle.
Well, don't say it's funny, Stu.
I did find it funny when, like, the first time he tries to use it, he's a bit rusty, isn't he? You know, and tries to use the grapple hook.
Oh yeah, you miss it. Yeah, that's right.
And obviously Sam makes some quip, and he's like, he's not got it anymore, sort of thing.
Bit of brotherly bants, eh?
And I also, right at this point, and I don't know why I did it.
Yeah.
But I turned the camera around because I wanted to watch what Sam was doing when I wasn't watching. It is funny, isn't it? Because I'm like, what's Sam do? Does he actually do it? And he did. He showed him doing it. How? I'm going to overlook the fact that you probably can't unhook those grapple hooks once they're hooked on something. Right?
Stu, you are forgetting a very important rule.
Oh, yeah, it's a video game.
Video game logic. Okay. And that says, fuck you to your logic.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
of course I can unlock it. But they do a lot of effort to, like, pass the rope over and stuff. And...
Yeah. It's really well done. I've got to say, I mean, we talked a lot about how we had to suspend our disbelief a lot with Uncharted 3.
Yeah.
You know, we spent a lot of time going, that would never happen.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that. You couldn't do this. I think this game has gone back to, as realistic as a video game can be.
Although,
do you know what I mean? The realism.
You know, that scene where he's jumping all over the roofs for his brother and he's just to look at his bike, that was a bit... What was the point in that?
Yeah, it was.
So we see Sully again. Sully's
he's old.
He's a bit grayer, isn't he?
Sully's old, yeah.
Still looking good.
He's still got it, though. He's still got it, hasn't he?
So we get into the auction and Wraith is in there. And then we meet a new character.
We do, Naomi.
Not Naomi.
Oh, no, Nadine, sorry.
Nadine Chambers.
Nadine Chambers.
And it turns out Nadine and Sully have a bit of history.
They do.
And, they're all at the party. And it also turns out that Nadine is strong as fuck.
Yeah, she's a mercenary for hire and she has an army.
And she doesn't fuck about.
No, she does not fuck about.
So the plan for the auction is that the cross is up for auction, and then Sully has to sort of do like a fake bid for it, doesn't he?
Well, he wasn't gonna have to, and then they moved it up the order, didn't they? So it was meant to be later on in the auction, and suddenly it's at the beginning, and then there's big panic on. We're gonna have to turn the electric off and pretend to be a waiter, and oh my god, this whole plan comes together in seconds.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean. They have to rejig what they were going to do.
You have to pickpocket that member of staff. But to be honest, I think that member of staff deserves to be pickpocketed because he wasn't doing anything, was he?
No, he didn't give a shit. And again, it's another nice bit of banter, isn't it? Because I like the fact that it's like Nathan's been out of the game for a while. He's a bit rusty. You know, he's not as good and slick as and he's older. You know what I mean? He's not as slick and good as he used to be, and I like that.
Yeah.
And Sam's like, oh, do you want me to do it? And he's like, no, I've got this. I'm just taking my time or whatever.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked it. I thought it was funny. You know what I mean? I like that bit.
Yeah, I mind. I just see. I failed to do it, and then Sam had to step in and talk to him.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I mean, this guy who's playing this just did it, and I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing. No, I thought that you had to do all this, go through all the banter stuff.
But yeah, I mean that member of staff, Stu, he'd be fired, wouldn't he? Because he wasn't
Oh,
doing
yeah.
he wasn't doing anything. He was just
No,
walking around.
He was useless.
He was carrying wine, but he wasn't offering it to anyone, as far as I could see.
Nope.
He
nope.
deserves to get fired for when they look at the records of who scanned that door, and it was that guy, and then they're going to put him into an office and say, "Why did you open this door so many times? You know, you're fired." So anyway, we turn the lights off, and we.
Well, I did want to say, by the way, you have to go to the kitchen, don't you? It's like,
yeah.
I've got to go to the. How far is that kitchen from the dining hall? I mean, that is
It's an old building.
miles.
It's an old building.
Miles. It's like that waiter's just come out with food. How far has he walked with that?
He's had to walk with the microwave.
I know. He
You know what I
probably
mean?
has. It is miles.
Yeah.
Miles. I thought that was kind of funny, the geography of the building.
Yeah,
It was like, my God.
So the whole gist of it is that we have to switch the power off. Basically, is the gist of it, and we do. We switch the power off.
Yeah, we do.
There's a fun section where Nathan does this jump, and basically just falls. Like again, like you say, Stu, he's not as good as he used to be. Do you know what I mean?
He's not. He's not as
He gets
young.
on a thing, and usually he holds on, and then he
Yeah.
falls off, and he has to do and then it cuts to another scene where you're talking to
Yeah.
Nadine again, and then you cut back, and he's like climb back up it again, and you never used to get that with Nathan Drake.
No, it's so well made. It's so good.
Yeah, it is fun.
I'd forgotten how good this game was. I mean, because I've played this obviously a long time. It's 8 years ago. 8 years. Ago. 8 years.
The world was a different place, Stu.
Yeah. It
You
still
know?
had my original save, by the way, on my PS4, and it came up and said, like,
I would say
overwrite this
I would
save?
say politicians were better back in 8 years ago, but I don't know if they
probably
were
weren't.
really.
They probably weren't. So yeah, it's 8 years ago.
8 years.
So anyway, you do all your stuff, cut the electric off. Cross
But
gets
hold on,
stolen.
why doesn't Wraith
Yeah.
recognise Sam as one of the waiters?
I don't know. I did think that was a bit odd. Did he just not like be in his line of sight at any point? I can't remember now. But he doesn't, does he? He doesn't obviously see him.
Because what I notice is that when you first walk into that room, there's bloody loads of people, and you like shift him through, and then
Yeah.
all the people seem to slowly disappear. There's not as many people in the room as you think. Maybe they all fucked off for the auction bit.
Yeah,
They all
the
got
mingling, the
they got the
mingling.
canopies, they got the free wine, and they
Yeah.
fucked off.
Yeah, they did.
So yeah, the Sam does the swiping. He gets the thing, the cross.
The cross. And then you come to escape. You get back in the room, and Nadine's waiting for you.
Yeah. That's a good fight.
But what's kind of funny about this is why on earth would you think you would have won with the cross?
She knows.
Because you haven't got it though, have you? Because your
No,
brother's
but
got
also they said that Sully said that Nathan's not in the game anymore.
it. Yeah.
Remember, like when they were talking downstairs, he
yeah.
said, "Oh, Nathan, he's married. He doesn't do it. He doesn't do this stuff anymore." And then she sees Nathan Drake, so
Yeah.
she knows what's going on.
But I've got to say that fight was brilliant.
It's a great fight,
and the mocap is great. You know, there's no real animations like repeated.
No,
it's like she fucking kicks the shit out of you.
Yeah,
doesn't
you don't
she? You know
don't
what I
win
mean?
that fight really at all.
Oh
yeah.
God, no! You would never win that fight. She would have killed you if
Yeah.
you'd have stayed in the room.
One thing
But she
I
just throws you out the window.
one thing that I forgot to mention, you know, like you swing on these metal bars on
Yeah.
the way to this room. Do you know what I mean? You swing on these metal
Yeah,
bars.
yeah.
You love minor aesthetic details, Stu.
I do.
I love the sound of your fingers rubbing on those metal bars.
Yeah.
And I was
that squeakiness.
I was swinging on those bars for bloody ages. listening
Yeah,
to that.
just
I was
listen to the
this sounds
squeak.
really good. Anyway, yeah. So she basically sorts you out, doesn't she, Nadine?
Oh yeah, she kicks you out.
She kicks you out the room.
Yeah, she defenestrates you. I like using that word.
Yeah.
What was that again? We talked about this word, didn't we? What was that word again?
Defenestrate. It came
That's the
about.
one.
It came about from the thingy space game, didn't it?
Mass Effect 2.
Mass Effect 2.
You
and
can
there was
can do it in Mass Effect 2. I had told you about the word a week
Yeah.
before you got to that moment in that game.
And there was a reward. There was like an achievement for it. It said
Oh,
defenestration achievement or
That's
something
right.
like
So
that.
that word, that's right, isn't it? That word is basically a word for kicking somebody out of a window. Is that
Yeah,
right?
someone going through
Throwing
a window.
someone through a window or something through a window. Yeah,
Something
you
through a
can-
window. Yeah.
Defenestrate.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'd love to defenestrate someone.
Such a great word.
It is a great
It's
word.
the word that you know, aside from video games, you'll almost never have a chance to use it.
Well,
but you need to be ready
would
if
it
you
get
are.
used? When would you
Well, if
throw
you're in a
something
pub
through a
and people
window?
are fighting and someone picks someone up, or if you're in Prague in 1721.
But who decided we needed a word
Or-
for that even?
Or you go to
Apparently.
you go to Westworld, and you have a little,
there you go.
you know, bit of a
yeah,
crack on that.
through a saloon
Fighting.
window or
Yeah.
whatever.
Exactly.
There you go.
Well, yeah,
that. By the way, there was a word last week that has it joined that as my tied for first favorite word ever. It's a slang word from 1850, which means money. The word is spondulix.
Oh yeah, we say spondoolies in this country.
Do you really?
Yeah, spondoolies is quite
That's
a common
crazy.
word.
I had no
Yeah.
idea. I love it. It's a great word. Spondulix.
Yeah, I've got plenty of spondoolies. Yeah, I didn't know where it
Okay.
came from,
There
but
you
we
go.
use it for money.
Well,
Yeah.
they don't. Nobody knows. Apparently, dictionary.com says it's uncertain origin.
I
1850,
came up with
so-
it.
Yeah, Chini
Oh
came up
wow!
with
me.
How did you come up with it in 1850?
It's a long story.
Oh, okay.
It's a long story.
Well, someday I'd love to hear that story.
One thing I loved, Stu, was the entrance to, like, you know, when you go on the zip line and then like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
falls, and then you basically just smash through a window and join the fight with Sam, and you're like,
Yeah.
you just drop it. Such a great, cool
Again,
thing.
everything about this escape
It's
thing
slick,
is
isn't
so
it? Oh.
well orchestrated.
It's so
like
funny.
everything, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, what I put, Auction Escape, amazing
Yeah,
is what I wrote.
It is great. Yeah.
It's just so well crafted.
And you know,
Everything about it.
I mean, look, it's a video game trope at this point, and especially when you play all the Uncharted back to back. You know, when you go into a fancy place, you're shooting your way out of it. You know, there's no
Oh,
way,
yeah.
there's no way you're getting out of this like quietly.
Getting out there quietly.
No. And then you get it. You
Quietly.
basically get in a car and speed off, don't you? That's this
Yeah.
chapter.
I loved it. By the way, I loved as well when you're running across all the rooftops, you can see all the like supercars
Yeah.
making their escape. You know,
Yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
out of here.
Yeah.
I ain't staying here anymore.
So our clue, our new
Um,
cross leads us where, Stu?
It
Pretty
leads-
close to home, doesn't it?
Scotland. I loved as well. By the way, can we just say about Sam making a joke that there was nothing in it? I thought that was
Yeah, it's
kind
good.
of funny.
It's
He
good.
smashes across and they're like, "What's in it? What's in it?" He's like,
Nothing.
"There's nothing in it."
It's
and
just
they're like,
bants.
"What?
Mad
It's just
bants.
bants."
This game should
I-
be called Uncharted 4
Oh,
Mad
mad
Bants.
ban. By the way, I did like the moment when Sam was out of earshot. Drake was out of earshot.
Oh, yeah.
And so Sully had a word with Sam and said, "Come on, man, he's got a life now. He's got he's got a wife and what have you. He doesn't need this stuff anymore."
Wow, you said it word for word, Stu.
That's exactly what.
Come
he said,
on, man. Don't, don't fucking, hey.
Don't fuck his life up,
Don't
lad.
fuck his life up again.
I
So-
kind of like that, although the next breath is like, "Yeah, I'm in."
Yeah, I'll do it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
So we're in Scotland.
Scotland.
A lot of sliding around in
I
Scotland.
like that though. Again,
There's a lot of sliding, isn't it?
There's a lot of sliding, but again, it's so
Fucking hell.
well.
I didn't
and you're
realise
like-
the Scots love sliding around
There's a
so
lot of
much.
sliding. What I thought was kind of impressive about this section was there was a couple of moments where I'm like, "Where the hell do I go now?" No, I have to get up to. You have to go up to come down.
Yes.
So you do a lot of going up,
Which is
to come
appropriate
back
because
down.
if you've ever been to Scotland, it is hilly as fuck.
It is silly as anything.
You do have to, you go up, down, and then up a hill, and then up
Yeah.
a hill again, and then down. That is what Scotland is like. And nothing else. You know,
No, nothing
Edinburgh
else.
Castle's like, it's on this. Where's Edinburgh Castle? On this fucking massive hill. Great,
Yeah.
thanks. Weird place to put a castle, eh? The other thing that struck me was when you come across like a fight, like an enemy sort of gunfight, you can lose the enemy, and I'm not sure if they did that in previous Uncharted games. Where,
No, I think this is the first game that really introduced proper stealth.
like you can if you hide long enough during a combat, they don't know where you are. They're just shooting at your last, sort of like a Splinter Cell Conviction or like like a Division game or something like that, where they're just shooting at your last point, and you can hide and eventually, or like a Batman game, you know, when they just lose you and you can hide again. Which is I thought that was cool. I liked the change of pace, and it makes the fight's a little bit more interesting, doesn't it? The fact that you can.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they added considering this was kind of the Uncharted swan song. You know what I mean? This was the final game.
Yeah.
They did add a lot of new stuff into it. You know, it wasn't just what I like about it, I think more than anything, they didn't just go through the motions. You know, they could have quite easily just, you know, kept it similar formula to the previous games. But I think they wanted to go out on a high. They wanted to go, right, you know, this is how far we've come. This is the first PS4 only game, you know, version of this game.
Yeah.
And we want to show you what we're capable of. And I love that. I love that about it.
There's a jump tackle that you can do. Did you do it where you jump tackle someone? Like you basically just run and jump off a ledge and onto someone, and then you get their gun, and it's so cool. It is one of the coolest.
I did a drop down stuff. You know, you drop.
Yeah, the drop down one, but there's like a jump tackle one.
Nah, I didn't
and then
know
there's
that.
something that happened in this game that actually genuinely made me panic a little bit, because you know the classic, like you pull a guy off a ledge and he falls.
When they hang on your foot.
And he hangs on my foot, and I was like, "Oh shit, he's still on my foot!" Like, you know, I love
you've
that.
got to kick him off. Kick him off. I had that a couple of times.
Yeah, I like that. I thought that threw me off a little bit. There are some janky physics with the rope, I have to say. You know, when you're jumping around and you're doing a lot of, you know, swinging around and jumping on this and jumping on that. There were some times where I was like, I'm bouncing off stuff, missing stuff, that it feels like it's not my fault in a way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a bit of a shame, but for the most part, it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love, by the way, when we finally get to the tomb and get inside. There's a skeleton stuck in where obviously they got it wrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a puzzle where they got it wrong.
They done the puzzle and they got it wrong, and they're like, spiked, kebabbed.
It's a bit like the Goonies, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so many cool little things and nods to stuff in this game.
Because there's a puzzle with the crosses where you got to put the water in the bucket and then the crosses.
Yeah.
I thought it's quite tricky, that one. Don't you think?
Well, that's the one where you'd have got stabbed if you got it wrong, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, no, I got it wrong twice, but you don't get stabbed.
No, but you don't. Yeah, because you don't put your hand in the thing till you've got it right. And Sam's like, well, something like he said something like, I don't see you doing this, and he's like,
well, you do it.
I'll let you do it.
I found that puzzle a little bit tricky, really. Just a bit tricky.
But you see, I didn't, but I think that's because I've already done it before. So I think I vaguely remembered what to do, so it wasn't that big a deal. But so clever.
What I did find really dumb in this section where you're in the cave is that you spend a good 30 minutes jumping under like all these caves under Scotland, and you're jumping under this, jumping under that, and then you climb to an area where you can hear Nathan and Wraith talking.
Yeah, just directly above you.
So basically, they're looking for this treasure, and the path to it is right below them. Like it's just there, and I'm like, what are the chances of you? It felt a bit clumsy for you to get a bit of a story.
I think that was kind of part of the point, wasn't it? Because Nadine's like, I'm just going to blow shit up and get there directly. I don't know what this fucking Wraith's character's doing. I'm just going to blow
I know, but like the fact
up.
that I'd climbed all this way and conveniently just climbed under a bit where I could hear them talking, just so we can hear them not getting on. You know, I just thought, like, really, do we have to, like, couldn't you just cut to them? Like, wouldn't that be better rather than me, like, being right under them? Because it just seems like I've travelled so far for me just to be... She's been blowing everything up, Stu, right? If she just blows up the room that she's actually working in, she'd probably get there.
Yeah, well, she probably would.
You know?
Probably would. But, yeah, she does eventually, doesn't she? Because she blows all that shit up and... You end up in a gunfight with her and her cohort.
She just loves blowing stuff up, Nadine.
She loves blowing shit up.
That's her hobby.
And you end up sort of everybody, like all the towers are crumbling and you're jumping above all these towers. I really like the end of this section. You know, the sort of the escape at the end again was really well done.
Yeah, because you get a map of Madagascar, don't you?
Yeah, you got a map. It's like you got to go to Madagascar. But again, you've got to escape the Scotland bit first.
What do you reckon Nadine likes as a birthday present? Dynamite?
Fuck it, fuck no. I reckon she'd like some fancy platinum and gold knuckle dusters.
Yeah, probably.
Do you know what I mean?
That have a button on them that can explode.
With diamonds embedded in the knuckles.
They have a button on the side that makes them explode.
Yeah, that was.
She just loves things exploding.
Little miniature rocket launchers built in.
Yeah,
she'd like that.
Little rocket launcher earrings that actually work.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I think that's what she'd like.
All
of that stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, apart from that, really, we have to go to Madagascar. That's kind of.
Yeah, that's where we're at. I thought it was a good place to stop at the end of chapter 9 because
we're in a jeep.
Yeah, it felt appropriate. Felt appropriate to be in a jeep.
Yeah, but I think the auction was probably the highlight. The Scotland level's pretty good. Like
I liked it. I like the Scotland level.
A lot of sliding, but yeah.
And I like the end where you're running through, to get back to the boat, and you eventually have to jump off a massive cliff, which is always a good thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, I think the highlight for this section was definitely the auction. Love the auction.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And that's a massive section, by the way. That's such a big chapter.
Yeah. Yeah. So onwards we go.
Onwards we go. Yeah.
It's huge. That section. Huge.
Yeah. You can tell this game is bigger.
Yeah.
Than the others.
Big.
Yeah,
and more explosive.
It's a big boat.
Thanks to Nadine. Nadine,
definitely more explosive. I like Nadine, by the way. Can I say?
Is she because the DLC expansion? Is she one of the women in that? No.
Yes, she is.
She is.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Chloe. Chloe and her.
Oh, it's Chloe and her.
Yeah, it is.
See, yeah,
Chloe and her.
I definitely. Because I think it's part of the collection.
Good. The expansion's really
good.
So
I've got it. So I'm definitely.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm going to play it. Yeah. Yeah. More Uncharted, isn't
Better
it?
play it.
Yeah, I will.
Well, you can never have enough Uncharted, in my opinion.
Uncharted 5.
Yeah, it's never happening. I think and you'll probably know why when you get to the end of this game.
It's not.
Because Nadine blows up everybody, basically.
Nadine just blows everything up.
Yeah, everything
at
up.
the end, and that's it.
She never stops until she blows up the Earth.
Yeah, blows all that shit up. So there you go, Duke. Back over to you.
Yeah, so we're running to the end, so I'm gonna have to just cut it to one more game. But it's a good one.
One more game.
It's an interesting one. Yeah, so there's this game called Master Plan Tycoon, which is a weird game. It's a village builder.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. I've never had one of them before.
There's no villagers.
Oh, okay.
God, I've just looked at what this is.
It's like if an accountant for a corporation made a village builder. It's totally minimalist. Instead of making buildings, you make these like
windows,
little boxes.
Like
they're windows.
Like windows
it's like
windows on your computer windows.
Right. Like it's like a spreadsheet, and you hook up outputs and inputs.
Oh,
it's very
God.
odd.
It's another one of these games.
What do you mean another one of these?
It's another Factorio type game, isn't it?
Well, sort of, except there's no factory. It's just
but you're putting stuff in and getting stuff out.
Well, yeah, of course. That's a whole genre now, and I mean it's fun as far as it goes. It's just there's something about it that's like I feel wrong having a village with no villagers. So
yeah, but they were like,
I don't know.
how can we do Factorio and make it look different or be different? And that's what presumably they came up with.
Yeah, I mean, this, the benefit of this is that it allows for some, you can do whatever you want because you don't have to worry about graphics. You can just, put it down. It's all text. There are like, the connection, the lines connecting the well to your storage, for instance, when the water's moving from the one place to the other, there's a little circle that goes along. And so you have the indication that there's resources being moved around.
There's flow.
It does this
There's
thing.
Flow.
Yeah, there is flow. It does this thing where like you have like I think the first one is like the iron mission or the brick mission, because you have to make bricks. So it pops up a box on the screen, and then you click the box and it opens up a new map, and then you bring outputs from the main map into this world, and then you use it to, you know, create bricks, and then you leave that little world. And so then, you know, you have a few things going in and a few things coming out, but there's a whole world inside of that window. And that's really the benefit of this game approach, is that you can do worlds within worlds, right?
I guess.
So
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not saying it's great. It's very odd, and you could do that sort of thing with a game that has actual graphics. I just saw this. I thought it was interesting. I wanted to give it a try. It's exactly what it says on the package. I played it to the point where it was like, okay, the demo is over. Now you should buy the whole thing. And I was like, you know what? I had some fun with it. The game is like $10, which, like, fuck that. But on the other hand, I don't know how deep it gets. I don't know how big the actual game is. It's possible that the actual game has all sorts of stuff all over the place, and, you know, you're keeping a whole bunch of stuff moving. And let me say this. I don't know if they do this in this game, but one of the things that Factorio, and especially Satisfactory, could really use is some form of miniaturization. Because when you play Factorio, and definitely when you play Satisfactory, you end up with these sprawling, you know, you start off, you have a little machine that gets iron or coal out of the ground, right? And then you smelt the iron and you use the coal to keep your machines going. And, you know, you have these processes. Well, eventually you make more and more sophisticated things. You need more and more, you know, you have to get this part of the iron, you have to get iron rods and iron plates and these things, you know, all these different things. And you end up with like 6 different machines to make one product, right? What you need at some point in the game is to be able to say, okay, I've created these 6 different machines. Now here's this method of compressing them into a smaller device, so that you put the one input in and you get one output out, instead of having 6 machines in the way. Yeah. And I don't know if this game actually does that, but if it does, that's turning an important corner for the factory games. And I'm waiting for them to implement it in, you know, actual games.
Yes, I'll be honest. Every time I see another one of these games, I'm just like, oh my God, it's another one of these games. Someone come up with an original idea. I don't know. I'm just like,
well, like I said, if they do have miniaturization in the form of the brick puzzle, then that is a game changer, and
it makes it slightly different, but it's just
it makes it profoundly different.
Well,
Stu,
I mean, it may not look different.
I will take your word for it.
When I see another walking simulator or like narrative choice games that you play, I'm like, oh, another one of these games.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's just
horses
for courses, Stu.
Horses for courses. And look, you're not wrong in that a lot of village building games are exactly the same. Like most, you know, Manor Lords isn't seriously different from Patreon. It's just, or Patron or whatever the fuck it's called. You know, it's just it's got more depth, and it's got actual combat and so forth. So, you know, these games all build off each other. I think the difference between this kind of game and the fact that we had Battlefield and Call of Duty back in the day is that those games had longer development cycles. So, you know, you'd get a game a year after a game that was very much similar to it, but you didn't feel like a clone because it didn't happen right away. You know what I mean? The fact that so many of these games are coming out so quickly makes it feel like there's such a flood of games that are all identical. But in many ways, they do, you know, this one will have this technique, this one will have this thing in it. And they do look very similar, but some of them, and many of them are very similar, but some of them do have actual innovations.
This one's appeal, I suppose, is like it's simplistic look, isn't it?
It's the simplistic look. It's the streamlined process of, you don't have to actually build anything. You just click on it and it builds itself. The difference is, and I don't know because I only played the demo, but my guess is that what really appeals is the fact that it ends up being all these different things, despite the fact there's no graphics. So if you like a game with graphics, this is not the one for you.
Right, we do need to move on because we've got emails, we've got speak pipes, we've got a lot of shit.
And once again, the news is going to be pushed off for next time.
It's added out, or the show goes on for 4 hours.
I'm just saying. I know. I'm just saying.
4 hour
maybe
show.
Next time
4 hour
we'll start with the news, and Anyway,
well, no,
whatever.
because
I said that last week.
they've still got all the stuff to do, and people have contributed, so we should maybe make
Yes,
precedent for
absolutely.
that. You know what I mean? For the
Yes.
people.
All right, so here comes the
It
emails.
takes precedent.
Whoa, that ruled.
Okay, first email this evening is from Jason Gallagher. And he says, next time come strapped with a something pamper. I don't know what that means, what the swear word is.
Okay.
Ass pamper. Is it ass pamper?
I
don't
think
know.
that might be a Wu-Tang lyric. Next time, come equipped with a fucking pamper.
Well, fucking pamper, might be that. Wu-Tang Killer Bees, we are on a
See, there you go,
swarm.
Wu-Tang.
Dear veterans of the gaming lifestyle, I recognize the last time I mentioned GameStop, you blew me off like a fly on a plate. But soon your anti-heaven asses will see. There's an
By the
album.
way, sorry, I just found out it's from Wu-Tang Clan in the front. Throw your shitty drawers in the hamper. Next time, come strapped with a fucking pamper.
There you
There
go.
you go.
There's an album the US government wants seized, you see. There's a metaverse.
Yes, from Martin Shkreli.
Yeah, I sent you this, by the way. I sent you,
You
this
did.
week.
It's true.
There's a metaverse about to come alive, creators all over the world. This one is for the kids, the old ass gamers, and all the roaring kitties. Pump it up. I cannot wait to hear the full album. I cannot wait to see the games and the art and the music that will come. Can't stop, won't stop. Another gift horse from Texas GameStop. This is not financial advice. This is just me ready for another trip to the moon. Let your feet stop.
Okay.
This is the metaverse. I will die on strap on your pampers. Jason,
Okay.
there you go.
Appreciate that, Jason. I caught some of those references. It's Wu-Tang. It's for the children, no doubt.
So basically Wu-Tang made a one copy of one album and
Once upon a time in Shaolin.
and then destroyed the original recordings and everything, so it can never be recreated. It's literally the most valuable album in the world.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah,
It
and
sold for like $2 million.
Yeah, $2 million. And now a museum has got it, an art museum, and so they're doing a ticketed event. You go along there, get yourself a ticket, then you go, and you get to listen to the whole album, and it's in a silver box. I'm assuming it's on CD. In that case, by the way, it's not
I
a
don't
vinyl.
know what the format is.
No, I think it's
That's a good
CD. I think
question.
it's because they built a custom PlayStation 2 to play it on, or PlayStation 1 or something. That's a special Wu-Tang PlayStation 1, and that's what it's going to be played on. So it is a CD as far as I'm aware. So there you go. That's what's the well. Thank you,
There you go.
Jason. That's what all that
Yeah.
references to.
Right.
Okay, next email tonight is from Matt Bond, and he says advice.
Matt Bond.
Advice needed. Yo, Stu, Duke, and Chinny, I've been meaning to email for a while now and thought it was about time I stopped fucking
Yeah,
about.
it's about time. Let's go. Come on. Stop
And
fucking
good-
about.
So I've recently started a new playthrough on Skyrim after getting the itch to play a classic single-player game on my Nintendo Switch.
Start it up and let's start over.
Yeah, for me, this game ticks all the boxes with its incredible snowy setting, character customization, and endless things to do, as well as having the option to play a massive game like this on a handheld with my feet up on the sofa. So I was wondering if your resident Skyrim expert, that would be you, Duke, or
That
fellow
would be me,
listeners to the
Duke.
podcast, have any advice on cool places to discover and interesting characters that are worth seeking out? It's been a while since I've played the game, and I want to make the most out of my time exploring the world. Also, any suggestions on the best setup for my character in terms of skills to unlock, magic, weapons to equip would be greatly appreciated. So there you go.
So there's no right answer to the question of like your build. It all depends on what kind of person you are, what kind of character you're playing as. I like to have a character who has like my character drives my playthrough. So in other words, sometimes I'll have someone who likes to sneak around. That's very often the thing. Sometimes I'll have someone who's just using magic. Sometimes I'll have someone who likes two-handed weapons. I had one person. There's a mod for the PC called Ordinator, which gives you an entire new set of perks. So there's actually a value to being an archer because it's to do with hitting people from a distance, and that's a perk that you can level up and stuff like that. That said, So in terms of where to explore, one of my favorite followers is the woman. I don't remember where it is, but at the bottom of the map, kind of near Riften, and then to the west a little bit, there's this tower. And when you go in there, two people are fighting, and the woman kills the other woman, and she's like, I was, my mother took me here, and we've been killing people, and I can't do it anymore, and I'm gonna go stop it. And so you follow her through this tower, and basically you fight her mom. It's kind of heartbreaking, but it's also, it's cool that she decided she wanted to do the right thing finally. So anyway, I like her. I have her as my companion as soon as we finish her quest. And I also like the ghost person. Now, I think I had to install a mod so that I could have the ghost lady who gives you the bow. She fell down somewhere in a ruin, and she's like, that's me down there, and there's my bow. You can have it if you can get to it. Anyway, so she's a cool follower, but again, I think I needed a mod to make her my follower. Yeah, other places to explore. I mean, the whole map's just awesome to explore. So I don't know.
I think that's part of the game, isn't it? Is finding stuff for yourself. It's finding stuff for yourself.
But it's also like, you want to make sure you don't miss certain things, and I'm just blanking on the things that you should make sure you see.
Anyway, he says, enjoying the pod as always, which helps me pass the time whilst quarrying stone in deepest southwest Cornwall. All the best, Matt. So there you go. Thank you.
Yeah, all right, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Right, we have got as requested, a GTA quiz.
Oh,
as
sweet.
requested.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, here comes a quiz.
It's time for the quiz. It's time for the quiz. We play the shitty sound clip when it's time for the quiz.
People are doing everything we say. I said y'all said we should do a GTA quiz, and we got a GTA quiz. And then I said, people are doing whatever we say. Somebody should send me $100. And then somebody sent us $100.
He did.
It was awesome.
Same person, by the way, which is a silent gamer.
Oh, well, there you go. Thank you, Silent Gamer.
You said it with your own face on it. It's not legal tender, unfortunately, but it was kind of
Well, not yet, it isn't.
Okay, are you ready? Here we go. Question 1 of 5. Here we go. And stop typing Duke very loud.
No, I had to type it because I had to find the sound clip. It's the one from Coming to America where the guy says...
He is rich!
What?
He's got his own money. And baby, when I tell you he's got his own money, I mean the boy has got his own money!
And that's for me, because now I have a $100 bill with my face on it.
Indeed. Okay, question 1. Which of these is a vehicle in Grand Theft Auto?
All right.
And Shinny's going to be taking all of these. I have nothing to say about it.
Is it A, a warthog?
No,
is it
that's
B?
Halo. So
it is Halo.
Yeah, it is.
A Banshee.
That's also Halo.
That is also Halo.
There is a Banshee in GTA. It's a sports car.
Or is it C, a Red Eagle?
What was that? What was that?
A Red Eagle. Red Eagle.
That's a sword in Skyrim.
Or is it D, an Octane?
So there is a Banshee.
No, Octane is the car in Rocket League.
Octane is the car in Rocket League. There is a Banshee in Halo and in GTA, but
maybe it's a trick question. Maybe that's why he's doing it.
But Red Eagle is no. I don't think there's a Red Eagle.
So you're going Banshee then? Are we going Banshee?
Banshee.
Banshee. Here we go, and the answer is Banshee.
Banshee.
It is a Banshee.
Yay!
So, as stated, Warthog is Halo. Banshee appearing in every GTA game since Grand Theft Auto 3. So that's been in a lot of them.
Yeah.
Red Eagle is Carmageddon. Carmageddon.
Yes.
Oh. It's also a sword in Skyrim.
And Octane is Rocket League, as Duke stated.
Yeah. What?
So here we go. Question 2 of 5. Which of these is a desert? Okay. Which of these is a desert?
A desert.
A desert in Grand Theft Auto. Is it A, Calico Desert? Is it B, Rub Al Khali Desert? Is it C, Grand Sonora Desert? Or is it D, Gerudo Desert?
Gerudo is Zelda.
Okay.
Read out the...
Calico.
Yeah.
Rub Al Khali, or Grand Sonora.
I think it's Grand Sonora because it's a Grand Canyon ripoff. So it's a Grand Sonora thing.
Okay, here we go. We're not sure where the others are from, to be fair, but here we go. It is Grand Sonora. 2 out of 2 so far, Chinny.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
What were the others?
So Calico Desert is Stardew Valley. Duke should have got
I
that
never
one.
would have known.
Oh, I should have gotten that one, yeah.
Rub al Khali Desert is Chapter 18 of Uncharted 3. Drake's
Oh, we've
Deception.
just done that.
I did no
Yeah.
clue what that would have been called. I would have had no clue.
Should
And
have known.
Gerudo, as you stated, Ginny, is from the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess and Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom. So all of those games. So well done. Question 3 of 5. Which of these characters is voiced by a British actor? Ooh, this is a toughie. British actor in Grand Theft Auto. Is it A, Barry Micklethwaite? Is it B, Mark? No, all these will be from other video games.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Is it B, Mark Faber? Is it C, Drosten Hind? Or is it D, Victor Reznov?
Well, Reznov is
Yeah, I don't
Call
know
of
any of those
Duty
people.
Black Ops, and that's
Okay.
voiced by Gary Oldman.
Ah, there you go.
Ooh,
So
there you
I
go.
know that.
I'm liking that he's even got British actors, presumably, for all these other characters. It's kind of impressive.
Well, that's Gary Oldman, yeah. So
Mm.
one of the greatest actors to have lived.
He is.
Yeah.
It's true.
I don't know this one, so
I feel like Barry Micklethwaite sounds like a Grand Theft Auto character.
does a bit. We'll go with that.
I think Barry. I could be completely wrong, but I don't know.
I'm
It
happy
just
to go with
sounds
that.
like a stupid name they come up
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
The answer is Barry Micklethwaite.
Hey, you got that one, Stu, not me.
It just feels
It's
like
Stu.
it feels like something they'd use. You know, I don't know why.
You got it, don't you?
Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories that comes from, and it's voiced by none other and another amazing actor. Can I say, Timothy Spall? What an actor!
Wasn't he
So
from
that's-
He was all right.
Alf Wiedersehen Pet?
He was great. He won it. He recently won a BAFTA.
A BAFTA.
BAFTA. So yeah, great actor, great pedigree. Mark Faber. Mark Faber was from Hitman 2, 2018.
Oh,
Voiced by Sean Bean.
Sean Bean?
Sean Bean. And Drosten Hind was from Call of Duty World War II Zombies. So like the spin-off thing, voiced by David Tennant.
David Tennant.
David Tennant.
David Tennant.
Interesting.
And as you was
There's 10 ants.
As you rightly said, it was World at War and Black Ops 1.
Yeah, he was
Victor
in there,
Reznov.
yeah,
Gary Oldman, but he also voiced British Dr. Daniel Clark, a chemical engineer who helped make the Nova 6 gas in Black Ops. So he voiced 2 characters. So there you go. Question 4 of 5. Which of these is a casino in Grand Theft Auto?
God, Jesus Christ, this is tough.
Jamal Casino, Calypso Casino, Atlantica Casino, or the Four Dragons Casino?
I know it. I know it.
I think I know it too, but Stu, do you know?
I think I know one of these.
I think it's the Four Dragons Casino.
Yeah, I think it's the Four Dragons.
Because that's San Andreas.
There you go.
That's in the that's in the Vegas bit of San Andreas. But
so what about the others then? Shamal
Atlantica
Casino.
is the Dead Rising.
I think you're right. I think it is that. Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is that. Calypso Casino.
I haven't got a clue.
And Shamal Casino.
Shamal.
Okay, let's find out. Here we go. And the answer was the Four Dragons Casino.
Yay!
So well done. And it was San Andreas. And Shamal Casino is Hitman Blood Money. Calypso Casino was Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas. And Atlantica was Dead Rising 2. So well done.
Hey, look at that.
And the final one for a full set, Chinny. Here we go. Which of these is a girlfriend in Grand Theft Auto? Is it Caroline Scott, Amanda Cartwright, Kate McCreary, or Abigail Roberts?
No, Abigail is Red Dead. Abigail
yeah,
I think you're right.
Yes, it is.
Thingy McGreary is GTA 4. You get with it's because McGreary, she's Irish, so she she's at the, you don't get married to her, but she's at the wedding at the end of GTA 4.
Okay, here we go. You ready? You ready? Here we go.
Ready.
Caroline Scott is Assassin's Creed Black Flag girlfriend of Edward Kenway.
There's no way I would have got that.
Amanda Cartwright. We would never have got this because I don't think any of us played it for long enough. Amanda Cartwright is Sleeping Dogs' potential girlfriend that Wei Shen can date.
Wow.
I've played Sleeping Dogs twice.
Wei Shen. Sorry, I have.
You don't remember the girlfriend, huh? Sexist.
No, I don't remember.
And you are right. Abigail Roberts is Red Dead Redemption 2 girlfriend of John Marston. And Kate McCreary is a storyline girlfriend of Nico Bellic. So there you go. Hope you all enjoyed that. All the best.
It's a good
quiz.
did.
Hell
yeah.
It's a good quiz.
Good stuff, man. Thanks.
I'm liking these
I would say
double quizzes.
they are hard though, but like we've got them right.
Yeah.
But they're hard.
No, but it's good. You want a challenge. You don't want it too easy, do you? You don't want it too easy.
Speak for yourself. I want it easy peasy.
And you got one
so
of
what's
them,
the next
Stu, not
game
me.
series?
You got one.
Yeah. So we had some for me. We got that one for
I'm trying to think
Chinny.
what's a good
Well, I got one. I got it.
The Witcher?
No. A game that we all like, which is
okay.
Portal.
Portal.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
that's a good one.
There's not so much of a world to pull from in Portal. I'll be interested to see what they come up with.
If you wanted to do one for me, Half-Life would be a good one.
Half-Life
I've played that,
2 or 1?
Well, either.
Two.
I played them both. So.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Red Dead's
all
for me.
two of them. All two of them.
Yeah, that's right. I would love to have a Portal quiz. I think that would be great.
Yeah, Portal's great. Yeah, let's do Portal.
Is the cake a lie?
Is the cake a lie?
Which of the following is a lie?
The cake?
Right, we have got...
The elephant?
We do need to move on because we've got three...
don't.
We do. We've got 3 speak pipes off Jacinta and one also off not Derek. So we've got
That's so many speak pipes. Holy crap.
Speak
Pipe, it's the way to leave a message for us.
Let me say thank you to Jacinta for sending me the thing about the comedian with the dogs and Nick Cody. And also, she got a dog. Oh, her dog is so cute. So, having said that, here comes the first speak pipe from Jacinta, because these are in order. So here we go.
Hi guys. I don't think I've ever said this before. It's Jacinta, but I don't re-record
My name
speak
is
pipes
Jacinta.
because I get anxious and then I won't send them. I'll just like record them over and over again and never send anything and never contribute or participate or have like any friends. And so I just send the first take. That's kind of what I do. Anyway, so I've had a bit of a shit while. And I have to say, last week in the podcast when what's his fucking name?
Oh shit! What have I done now?
Jason Gallagher said I had a nice voice, and then I forgot his name because I'm tired and it's a Sunday. Yeah, that really made my day because I'd been vomiting for 2 days and I felt real bad after that. You know, like the kind where you have like 3 ice cubes and you're fine, and then you have the 4th ice cube and it's like, no, now you need to vomit again, but for like 48 hours. So I had that. That was fun. And then this weekend, for whatever reason, I decided to go crazy and adopt a small dog.
Oh, so
cute. I've bought a Cavalier King Charles Poodle cross that's crossed with a Maltese. So it's a small dog. Yeah, and I'm really struggling with the old naming of the dog. So if you have any ideas, that'd be great. And I might send another speak pipe in a moment. I don't plan that.
And that's the end of the first one.
There you go. And then another one coming.
Yeah. So maybe she wants us to give names for dogs, or maybe it'll come after the next speak
I
pipe.
think she should call it Derek after Derek.
Derek's a good name. I like the name Derek.
Derek the dog just sounds right to me. It just sounds right.
Derek the dog. Mr. Dog has the Eddie Izzard thing. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's always the classic Snoopy and Jake from Adventure
You don't
Time.
want to be too obvious.
Yeah, I know. And it doesn't really fit her dog either.
No,
Like, Snoopy doesn't have Snoopy's a beagle. I don't know. There's lots of possibilities. Chinny, got any ideas for a dog name?
No, but I am.
Of course, it is a
Googling-
she, Stu, so it doesn't really work.
Oh, is it she? Oh,
Yeah.
that's no good then. Can't call it Derek.
I mean, you could be a transgendered dog.
yeah, of course
named
it's
Derek.
called Derek.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sure, go for it.
I am
Or
googling
Terrakina.
dog
You're
name.
giggling. You don't sound like you're giggling.
Dog name generators. So
Yes.
find a name.
How about Duchess after the Duchess?
what kind of dog is it?
Yeah,
Is
good
it like is it friendly, cute?
Yeah, it looks cute, small, cute.
Yeah, it's very
Friendly,
cute. Small and cute.
Would you say it's classic? I
Oh,
don't
just
know.
give us a name
Oh,
for
for fuck's
someone
sake,
you
just
like.
give us a
Hey, look, it's the
name.
Duchess. Hey, Duchess. What's going
Hi.
on? How you doing?
Building stuff.
Building stuff.
Building stuff.
Hey, Potters.
Oh, SLH's kitten is named Snoopy. See, we got good we got good taste.
I think she should go for a classic British name in this case. I think she should go for either
Deirdre.
Sharon or Tracy.
How about Deirdre?
Tracy the dog. What about Tracy?
Margaret. That's a good British name.
In the name generator, it's
Shaz.
come up with lots of different names. Hasn't really picked one.
What
so
about
that's
Nanette or Hannah? I mean,
Daisy?
There you're referencing an
There's
awesome
one of the
comedian.
names he's picked is Daisy Duke.
There you go.
Daisy Duke.
And then you can play that Deuce song. Look at that go with a Daisy Duke song.
Lizzie,
Song
Lulu. Nikita,
All right, we're just reading stuff off the internet now.
Yeah.
Here comes Jacinta's next speak pipe. You ready?
Yeah.
Zoe.
Anyways,
Shush.
so about the dog and the naming of the dog, I've sent a. I've always wanted a little Maltese dog ever since I was like 3, and I've never had one. As a
You're gonna
kid,
have it.
I had a Staffy. I sent Duke a
They're
clip
bogan
of
dogs.
an Australian comedian who does a skit about a Staffy
Yeah.
because a Staffy is a bogan dog. It's a real dog, you know. And what I've just bought, is a little piece of shit attached to a string. It's not
It's
a
a
real
very
dog.
cute dog.
I know this. It's a cat that barks. I'm okay with that. But the funniest thing about that video is that the name of the Staffy of the man in the video is the name of my old cat. So anyway, I'm thinking of calling my Maltese cross cavoodle dog that I can't afford Suki, like not Suki, like Suki, not from like True Blood, like Tsuki with a TSUKI because it means moon in Japanese.
Ooh,
And a lot
nice.
of people call their dog Luna. And
Okay.
Luna obviously means moon. And I just
Shinny
thought that
was
that
just
would be
talking
kind
about
of
Luna.
funny. But then I also maybe want to call her Alice after like Alice Walker and Wolf Alice,
Oh,
which is my
nice.
one of my favorite short stories.
There you go.
But there's so many names. There's just
Yes,
so
there
many
are.
names. Or like Juniper, because like the beginning of Skyrim, because like I played it over and over again, obviously.
They used to make
yeah,
the best
juniper berries.
mead with juniper
Juniper's
berries.
cool.
Yeah, it is. Juniper is very cool. All right, so that's the second one. Anything people want to say about that? Should we go to
Zelda.
the third.
Zelda.
Zelda's a good name for a dog.
Yeah,
That's
Zelda.
true.
I
The
kind
video
of like
game
Alice,
connections.
though, by the way. I like Alice.
I like Alice because Alice is a great
fine.
name, and
Yeah,
Alice
it's a good
Walker is
name
an
for a
amazing
dog.
writer.
Yeah, good name for a dog.
And if somebody's like, what kind of dog is it? You'd be like, I don't even know. Go ask Alice.
Yeah.
There's an old book called "Don't Go Ask Alice" about
Yeah,
woman
yeah.
who takes drugs.
We guessed
Yeah.
there'll be some reference.
Okay. Anyway, here, wait, I can play that sound clip.
Oh,
Where is
God.
it? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, wait, that's not
We
the
will-
one. Where is it? Hang on a second. Oh, yeah, here we go.
Another reference by Duke that no one understands.
Yes,
Ah. All right, Jacinta's final speak pipe.
But then I sort of think maybe I could call the dog Clarissa because Clarissa is my favorite character played by Meryl Streep in my favorite movie, The Hours, which is based on a book
yeah,
written
Virginia
by
Woolf.
Michael Cunningham, also called The Hours, which is based on Virginia Woolf's work. And then I
Oh.
thought maybe I could call my dog Virginia and then she'd woof.
There you go. Oh,
And
nice.
then maybe I could play, maybe
That's
I
deep.
could
That's a
name
deep
her
cut.
after Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, which is one of my very
There you go.
favorite plays. So who
Yeah.
knows? Or like maybe I could call her Piggy after the Who's Afraid of the Big Bad, like the Warner Brothers song that the
yeah.
pigs sing that I play for my students before we do Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
Nice.
And then I wonder why they don't understand failed marriages and midlife crises. They just don't get it. They look at me like, what the
No,
hell?
of course they
Also,
don't. They're too
Duke,
young.
how are we going to teach these kids, these Gen Zs? I don't understand. I do not get them. They won't speak.
Nope.
All they want to do is multiple choice quizzes.
Yep.
And then in the extended response part, they just write IDK in lowercase.
Sure.
I don't know. And then they're like, I finished, miss, can I go? And I'm like, no, because you haven't finished.
Sit
because
down
you
and
can't
write
just
more.
write I don't know in the answer
yeah.
thing and then say that that's finished.
Sure.
Anyway, I'm going to stop
with
now.
you. Oh, keep
This isn't
ranting.
therapy.
It
There you
is.
go.
That's
There
why I
you
show
go.
up every week. What are you talking about? I feel
I
you,
think-
Jacinta, and it's even worse for me because I make my students do 10 minutes of writing at the start of class every day, and they don't want to do it. So I have some that they just stare at their phones. They looking at the Chromebooks. We give them each Chromebooks, these little laptop computers, and like it looks like they're writing, but they're not. I go around back of them, and they're fucking looking at fucking YouTube shit. I'm like,
Of
come
course
on,
they
you
are.
should be
That's the
writing.
trouble. It's the trouble these days. Look, this is what I think.
Always
I think
been the trouble.
I think Jacinta's deep in it too much, right? What I think she should do is just write down all the names that she likes on a piece of paper, close her eyes, stick a pin in it, and the nearest one is 2. There you go.
No, I think she said favorite only in that third speak pipe when she was talking about Virginia Woolf. So I think Virginia is a good name. I like Virginia and Alice are both.
I think Alice is better. I think Virginia's a bit wordy. It's a bit too long. I think you need something snappy.
Just call
Virginia,
the dog
3 syllables. Alice, 2 syllables. It's a 1
No,
syllable
it's
difference.
more snappy. It's more
Just
snappy.
call the dog Spot and
I
be
don't know
done with
this-
it. Okay.
Spot. Yeah. Shaggy.
Do what you
Scooby.
think is best. And don't forget, as we did with Tito, you can always give a bunch of middle names. So it could be Virginia Alice the dog or whatever. Like you can
There
give
you go.
second names, third names. Virginia
Who
Woolf is
does
very
that?
genius. I
Who
agree.
gives a dog a second
Cool
name? Don't be
people.
so ridiculous.
Cool people do.
Well, I
Don't
think
be
you
so
should,
ridiculous.
it should be Alice or Virginia, and you
Jesus
should flip a
Christ.
coin.
Ew,
Flip
my
a
dog's
coin.
got a double-barreled name. It's got a hyphen. Fuck off. Right, anyway, let's...
What's your middle name?
I haven't got one. There you go, end of.
Nor have I.
Well, then you don't have a dog in this race. I
You
get
don't
it.
need a middle name.
But I
it's
think
just
Virginia Woolf is the best. I think
pointless.
that's great. All right.
Absolutely pointless.
Next speak pipe. Thank you very much for that sound clip too with the comedian. That was very funny.
Yeah, it's fine, Jacinta.
Thank you.
Yeah. Here comes the other speak pipe from Saint Diesel. This better not be about eBay. Although it does suck what happened to him on eBay.
It did.
Hey there, gamers. It's Saint Diesel back again. I've been watching a lot of stuff online, mostly YouTube, about the recent game Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga. I know
yeah.
Stu was talking about it last week. And a lot of it seems to center on the expectations they had for that game. I think they were much higher than what they got in the end. It seemed to be a very mixed game for reviews. Some people seem to have soured on it because of the length of the game, and I believe, from what I've read, it's somewhere between 6 to 10 hours. And there's been another recent indie game, I guess. It's Indica. That's apparently about 5 hours. And people seem to be going less hard on that game because of the fact it's an indie game and it's cheaper. And that's brought up the conversation about the length of games. Should you be paying more for a game that lasts longer, or should it be about the experience of the game? I know that's just an ongoing argument that's been going on for many years. When you think back to some of the older games, I think the shortest game I remember playing off the top of my head is probably Ico on the PS2. I think I ended up one run through, got through it in 2 hours 35, something like that.
Wow.
So I just wondered, are you someone who still thinks about, should I pay this much for such a short game, or are you just more interested these days in how good the game rather than whether it's 20 or 30 hours?
There you go.
Yeah, good question. I mean, I always think about Limbo, because Limbo is the poster child for short game, awesome experience.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think
And Inside is longer.
Yeah,
but it's not. I don't think it's. I mean, and it is better because it's more fleshed out and there's more interesting kind of puzzles and stuff. But at the end of the day, Limbo is such a magnificent game. Sorry, go ahead, Stu.
I think length. It's nothing to do with it. I think if you have 20 hours and a lot of it's superfluous to the actual experience, then I don't think it's that beneficial.
Agreed.
I
Agreed.
just think that game should be as long. For me, a story-driven game like Senua's Saga should be about how long it takes to tell the story, and there's no point. There's no need to pad it out. There's no need to pad it out.
Right.
But it's a pace question rather than a length question, isn't it? And
that's
true. Because you got like The Last of Us 2, which is a long game, but it's paced very,
Yeah.
very well. Where you think
It is.
and some people say like it does go on a little bit long.
Yeah,
but it's,
I think I was just going to say that. I think
but
sometimes
it
goes
still
on a
draws you
bit
in
too
for a long time. Whereas
Yeah, as long as it's still
the characters
engaging.
are so compelling,
it's
and
when,
the scenario is so compelling.
it's when you've got a game that's long but not engaging anymore.
but with
you know,
like
you sort of-
Senua's Sacrifice Part 2 Hellblade, this time it's called differently. Some reason we don't know why.
You got to let that go over the title of it. Chinny.
Like the game. I mean, I know you said the story was drawing you in, Stu, but the game is so slow as well. You're moving so slow. You're
to an extent
trotting through it. You're always dying
It's
all
because
the
you're
time.
dealing with slavers. You got to move slowly, or you're gonna.
I haven't
found
died.
and
To be
killed.
fair, I've probably in the whole game died twice. Maybe.
No, but you feel like you're dying, don't you, all the time? Like
yeah, when you're in combat. But then the combat's not that often. It's fine. I've found the pacing to
Stu,
be fine.
why
I've
do
had
you
issues
think?
with pacing.
Why do you think? You know, people are complaining about the length of Hellblade 2.
Because I think the problem we've got these days, and we've talked about this before, I think the inherent cost of a video game now is so high. You know, even like something like this, I think it's $59 on Steam if you bought it
Yeah, but
outright.
you've got the cash though, and it's coming out your ears.
I
Stu.
I could have the cash, but I think
I mean, you could get a haircut, but you don't.
No, I don't. I think if I'd have paid $60 or £49 or 50 quid for this game,
Yeah.
I think it would feel a little hard done to.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Because I just think a 6-hour game that isn't almost really a game. It's almost like a walking simulator for 60 quid or 50 quid or whatever it is
That's harsh.
an awful lot of money. Awful lot of money. You know, like I said earlier, joking, it's like 2 Lord of the Rings films. Well, you ain't going to pay 60 quid to watch 2 films at the pictures, are you? Do you know what I mean?
You
And
could
I think-
easily you could easily do that if you buy, you know, snacks.
Well,
and
yeah,
stuff.
if you buy all the shit, but 2 tickets just to watch the movie. If you just went in and watched the movie, you're talking 7-8 quid now. So it'd be like £16 to watch 2 back-to-back movies. So, and let's be honest, they're a similar cost to make, aren't they? But it's just that you get a lot more people going and watching a movie than you do playing a video game. It's difficult. It's difficult
So
for me.
the fact that you've played it on Game Pass, you feel less
It's fine.
robbed.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I think it's difficult when you come into purchasing something that you're never really going to own. You know what I mean? It's a lot of money. An indie game that costs you what, 15 quid, 10 quid for the same length. You know, and sometimes the same quality, not quite as good a quality, but a similar quality. You're not going to feel as hard done to, are you? Even if you don't like it that much, you're just going to be like,
And there's a lot of different types of games too. Like I don't play a lot of narrative games, so I'm getting value for money that's just like, I mean, in case of Rocket League, it's fucking through the roof. Like I paid $20 for that back when you had to pay for it, and I've got 4,000 hours in it. So like, forget about it. Same with Minecraft. So I think for me these days, it's not about the length of the game; it's about the size of the gaming world. Right? Skyrim is a perfect example of like a game where it's meant to be explored. And I'll be honest, I'm waiting for, and I think I've said this before, I'm waiting for an open world game where there is no main story. It's all just exploring and side quests and stuff. And like, you know, that's kind of what Kenshi is. I don't know if y'all have heard of the game Kenshi, but a lot of people are like, Kenshi is the best game ever. And it doesn't have a central story. It's all about just surviving and then like figuring out where you want to go with it.
Yeah.
So I think that's, you know, especially with AI coming, that's the wave of the future.
And I think the other issue we've got these days is that, you know, as everyone keeps banging on, there's a cost of living crisis. So money is kind of a thing that people don't want to part with as easily anymore. You know, people haven't got as much disposable income. So when you're spending 50 quid on a game that's only going to entertain you for 6 hours, when you could spend, I don't know, the same amount of money on, for instance, GTA 6 when that comes out, right? How many hours are you going to get out of that? And how engaging is that going to continually be?
Yeah.
And I think that's the difficulty here, is the value proposition, isn't it? Of spending that much money on something that's only going to be 6 hours long. As cool as it looks, you could watch a cool movie for a fraction of the cost. And I think that's the trouble.
Or play a game that's way longer and in depth and more game mechanics.
Yeah, and like I say, as
for the
long as
same
that
cost.
game's interesting and engaging, that's fine.
But
You know what I
there's
mean?
plenty of games that are £60 that have not just more hours, but more engaging gameplay. Because the gameplay is probably, I mean, you said this earlier, Stu, the gameplay is probably the weakest part of.
Yeah, it is. Totally
you know,
is.
Hellblade. So, yeah, it's and for me, I do love a good story in a video game, but they're hard to come by. For me, it has to be the gameplay.
Alan Wake 2, if I'd have spent £50 on that, I'd have been very happy with what I got for my money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's the difference, because that visually looks almost as good as this anyway.
But
Do you know what I mean?
It's got a lot going on, hasn't it?
But it's got so much other stuff going on, and it's so brilliantly made. And do you know what I mean? Even all that, they still haven't broken a profit, by the way, on that game. It costs so much to make. But even all those cinematic, properly filmed sections, all that stuff, it was so innovative.
But they haven't made a profit on Alan Wake 2.
No, they still haven't made it. They still haven't made a profit on it.
Jesus.
Whereas this game's a kind of a one-trick pony, and I think that's the trouble. I think that's the issue.
But Epic published it, didn't they?
Yes.
Well, fuck them. They've got money coming out their arseholes, haven't they?
But you know, this doesn't even stand to comparison against Alan Wake 2 from a gameplay perspective or interest or uniqueness.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So there you go. That's my 2 pence worth or 2 pence worth.
Yeah. Thank you for the question.
So there you go. At that point, we need to do some shout outs and get the hell out of here because it's late. We have run long.
So there you go.
There you go. Okay, Ju, you go first.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
I will shout out Jacinta for sending the thing that I already thanked her 100 times for. I will shout out everybody who showed love to the new track at the beginning of the show. So thank you very much, SLH and Paul Wilson and James Bevan. I'm glad everybody likes the track. Thank you. A shout out to Stu and Chinny for helping me make it. Shout out to the Duchess for putting up with me editing it and playing it over and over again on Saturday. Shout out to the Duchess for just being awesome in general. Shout out to Amar for sending me all sorts of cool stuff. He took a really cool picture of some grass recently. Shout out to everybody on Threads. And shout out to everybody going to meet up in London. I hope y'all have a really good time. And I wish I could be there. And you should take a picture and Photoshop me into it.
We should do that. We should definitely do that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to shout out Chinny because I'm coming over to stay. Chinny's on Friday. Yay. And I'll be seeing him in less than a week before the next show. I'll be seeing Chinny before we do the next show. So that's happening. Obviously, shout out to Fraser, who's coming all the way from Canada, all the way to the UK.
Yeah, he is.
So I'll be seeing him on Saturday.
Real Kahuna's going to be there. Neil.
There's quite a few people turning up, isn't there? So,
Dave.
Pilch Reed.
Pilch is coming. So it should be a good laugh. In terms of what we're doing though, Stu.
Yeah.
I did jump on the Seal podcast Friday, just to see like what are we doing? What's the plan?
Getting drunk and having an Indian from what I can gather.
The plan is turn up at 12 in London and just find everyone. That's basically the plan.
That's the plan.
So, yes, that's what we're doing. But I think we're going to have a curry.
Yeah.
We're going to have a curry stew.
Curry in a hurry.
Curry in a hurry. And apparently I do know because I tried them. The lamb chops are to die for. They're good at this curry place. And then there's a few options, but I think we're just going to play it by ear. Wing it.
Wing it. There's nothing wrong with winging it.
Yeah, so
I'm looking forward to it anyway. I think Rosa.
Oh yeah, you're gonna meet the Bab.
I'm gonna meet Rosa.
Oh. Yeah. I think we're gonna come back the same day. I think, Stu. That's the plan, isn't it? Just to come back the same day. And then are you going home on the Saturday night?
No, I'm at hell as like. I'm not
driving
driving all the way. Well, I wasn't going to if you were okay with me stopping. I was going to go home Sunday morning.
So you're going to stop 2 nights, basically, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
If that was okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I thought that might be, because that might limit...
I haven't asked you something. I was going to ask you something. Is there a real bed this time, or am I still on a blow-up one?
Fucking hell.
Well, I was just checking, because, I didn't know.
You want a real bed?
Well, I was hoping. There might be a real bed. Real bed this time.
I suppose you want a working toilet next as
And
well.
if there isn't, I expect there to be one installed for my arrival on Friday.
I suppose you want a working toilet, Stu, as well.
Yeah, that would also be useful.
Well,
then
we'll
I don't
see.
have to go to Mackie D's.
We'll see what I can rustle up.
See if there's a real bed. I'll be impressed if there's a real bed.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, my other shout. It's not a sort of a shout, but it's a bit of a plug. Because it is that time of year again when I've done my funky poolside summer vibes mix, and I do one of these every year at the beginning of the summer. So give it a listen. It's on Mixcloud on DJ No Clue, and it's the latest mix, funky poolside summer vibes. I think it's pretty good this year as well. I've tried to find some stuff that maybe I've not used before, and some interesting soulful vibes going on. So yeah, some. A bit of Gregory Porter's on there, so I've tried to, funk it up a bit. So hopefully you like it. So there you go. It's good, easy listening. Good for the barbecues. Good if you're sat at the pool on your holidays. Perfect for all that stuff. So give it a listen. Let's see if we can get a few. These usually do quite well. It's slow start though so far. Slow start. So hopefully it'll pick up a bit. So yeah, give it a listen. We'll be very grateful. Put it that way.
Yeah.
And over to you, Chidi, to finish us out.
So I went to see my brother yesterday. He is now on the boat. He's on his narrow boat.
Oh yeah, he's living on a boat.
Oh,
now.
That's right.
So I went to see. He was in a place called Brood, which is about 20 minutes away from me. And we went to the pub. Went to a bloody pub. And then we went on his boat. I have been on his boat before, but it wasn't as finished as it is now.
Okay.
And little Rosa got onto the boat.
Rosa.
Made her first boat voyage. So yeah, she got on the boat and she had a look and she was like, bah! And then she got off the boat. And Tara had a look at the boat as well. So shout out, if you want to see my brother's boat and his progress, he's got a YouTube channel, my brother. All right. Dedicated to the boat. And he's only got 23 videos. Bear in mind, Bongo has put like 200 videos up on his channel. He's just about got to 1,000.
Yeah, he put it up. I saw him put it up.
Peter's got almost 1,000. He's got 939 subscribers. He's done 23 videos. So he's done well.
Wow.
So he's done well. So if you type in Peter and Shell, and maybe if you put Peter and Shell narrowboat in YouTube, you will find them, and give him a little bit of a subscribe, bit of love, and you can see how my brother's getting on his boat. He films me getting on there, and there's a bit where I'm on there, and I'll be in a video soon. But he's about 6 months behind on his videos, so he's still on the YouTube channel. He's still restoring his boat, but in reality, he's on the boat and he's going.
In reality, it's done.
Yeah.
So yeah, congratulations to them. They're loving life. And yeah, he was good to see him yesterday. So shout out to Pete and Shell on the boat.
Yeah. Elodian Portal Shell.
Yes.
There you go.
That's the same.
And I guess that's it. So time to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. Yeah.
All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Instead, sitting at home, watch TV, very
Yeah.
There you go.
Another show.
There you go, people.
Show.
That's it.
Right, I've got to go. I'm up for work in the morning, but thank you guys.
Yeah.
I will see you on Friday, Mike, at some around 4 o'clock-ish to 5 sometime,
Yep,
I'm guessing.
no worries. I'll see you on Friday.
You will.
Have fun, guys.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's
Cool.
it.
Yeah.
See you later, all.
See you.
Bye.